I don't think the man should have a say in what the woman wears. I think the woman should have the common sense to know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate.
Like, no girl would be like, oh, can you take a shit on my chest or something like that. That would be too much.
What's the level before that?
Yeah, man, it sounds like you've gone a couple of fucking... Her eyes are closed. She would have no idea if I just wound up and fucking... Wow!
You're like red, huh?
You know, a couple things. Yes, I'm going to say yes. Obviously, I do. It is one of my favorite colors, if I'm going to say that. What helped it, even though I was always into it, what helped it was, I remember reading when I was locked up in all the men's magazines, every time they did interviews with these chicks and so on and so forth, and then something scientifically was supporting it, that when a man wears red, and it's vice versa, by the way, when a person wears red, depending on all the other factors, it's more attractive and it gravitates towards something sexual, something whatever. Maybe it's because of socially influenced for so many years. I forgot what it was, but I know that if somebody looks it up, there's some good little backup there. So when I read that, I was like, okay, I need to start wearing more red. Here's part 2. Bless her heart, because she's my world. One day I bought some red shirt. I forgot what it was. This is years ago. Some polo, Ralph Lauren, whatever, maybe Tommy Hilfiger, whatever. And it was all red, and it was a polo shirt, but it fit me good. And my mama was like, "Look at you with the red, da 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 da. It makes you glow." And she just said all some type of mother shit, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep fucking with this red, and that was it. From there on, yeah, I favor red.
Damn, so it's been around since you were a child almost embedded in you.
God damn, not that long.
Yo, but listen, I think also they use the color red because you know how marketing companies, they'll use certain colors to like stimulate or influence certain things. I think red is one of the colors used for like to influence sexuality, intimacy, romance. If you think of Valentine's Day, what color? Heart red. You know, everything's red. Love, lust. You think sexy. You the red lipstick when you see it on women. Red bottom shoes. You think, ooh, like that's kind of.
I love that we're going into this like this. Without researching, no one's researching. By the way, I left my phone out there. That's how fucking real I am. Without researching, say again.
You need me to bring it to you?
In case we need it for search it up, or you gotta look up.
If you don't mind, please. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you still working.
Hey, I appreciate you. You're grinding.
No shoes this episode.
He just put the fucking shoes on. Chris, is it because, without us researching it, is it because the heart pumps out blood? Like when did this I can't say the nerdy word, man. I'm not smart enough. How do we connect this? Where did it derive from? Where did the whole thing of the color red connected to the heart, and it all started connecting to love, heart, love, whatever? When did that happen?
Damn, I'm not sure.
That would be some dope shit to research.
Yeah, because I think that also purple also stimulates certain things. I think yellow also has certain.
Every color has certain psychological effects on us. Yeah. That's why, what is it, green?
Money, health. Oh, this is the logo one. That's why. Oh, shit.
So what my thing, Marv, when did it get to that level of what we connect to? I know what you're referring to, and you're correct, but did that happen throughout the human influence, or is that something that just psychologically kicked?
Wired?
Yeah, exactly. Like certain colors.
I think so, because I think that's what marketing companies, they use certain colors to influence certain things. Like I think certain restaurants or fast food restaurants, they'll use certain colors to stimulate this. And then there'll be other companies and other things and other industries that use this color for that. Green is usually for like money, wellness, health,
But let's try, and I know it's difficult for all of us to do, but let's try to go past that, whatever that year, I don't know if that's 1700, 1600, I don't know what the fuck. But before we can take pictures and realize all this, if one saw the color red in someone's garment, you know what I mean? Like if we look at these old school movies and they're old westerns, right? They're old westerns, but according to our modern time, they're putting red lipstick and they're putting these exotic colors on these. Back then, I'm gonna sound like a dickhead, but the hoes back then, whatever you call them, the saloon prostitutes, the whatever, the hoes back then when they had them long ass dresses. What's some of that look? Marv gave Chris the look like, oh shit, buckle up, here we go.
No, I love it.
But no, anyhow, were they using those bright colors for a certain reason? In other words, without the social influence, before technology was where it's at, is this just something that triggers the brain? Is there some type of science behind it? Right? You would think maybe.
It's got to be. I think colors trigger some sort of emotion as well. Because if you think about it, if you were to walk into a room that's like a light blue, I feel like that would, or like more pastel type colors, you'd probably be more at peace than if like bolder colors, darker colors.
30 years into your life under the influence.
No, you're assuming that the media companies programmed us?
No. What kind of conspiracy are you talking about? No. What I'm saying is, forget about us right now in modern time. Because right now, when we see yellow, we think McDonald's. There was no McDonald's, 2,000 years ago, or sorry, 300 years ago, okay? There was no McDonald's. So the things that we correlate with the colors that we see, did this exist back in the days when there wasn't McDonald's, when there wasn't these, was red always sexual? Was red always lips, a female, that type of stuff? Or was it something gory because it's connected to blood? It's connected to, like, when do you see red? When do you see red back in the days before there was color photography and shit like that? When do you see red? It's a garment. It's the blood of an animal, of a person. So when did it become sexualized? Or did it? Like, was that modern day shit that we chose once we started recording videos and taking pictures? Or was that,
So what I Googled it, and it goes, while some color preferences do come from culture, others are learned through experiences. As we encounter situations in our life, in our daily life, our memories is shaped by some of the experiences in our brain associated by that emotion. Right. So I guess when we were a kid and there is anger, maybe through experiences or through our culture or upbringings, we associate it with red because of certain experiences that are intense.
The blood comes to the surface of the skin when you get flared up.
Maybe we watch certain cartoons when we were kids, and then there is red involved, and the person is angry or whatever. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Red. I have both. No, so yeah, I was looking at different type of websites for colors, and for example, red has a personality of bold, adventurous, and energetic. Some of the positives: power, passion, energy, fearlessness, and excitement. So when you see the color red,
talking about me like that,
hey, oh yeah, you wish.
I was over here thinking, damn, he fucking nailed it, bro.
No, but listen, but it's crazy because then look, think of like yellow. We have optimism, warmth, happiness. You think yellow, uplifting.
But even that though, Chris, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I still think that unless we went as deep as we could on that rabbit hole of where you got that information from, who's that website, who's the person who wrote that, when did that all happen? That's still too modern.
You think?
Where's the scientific facts behind
this guy watches one episode of Andrew Huberman on YouTube, and all this guy wants
to go back in our
Andrew, that was them who said it. That wasn't me.
Or ancestries. Who knows? I mean, it is a good question. It is a good question for sure, but
not something to research, tonight. But anyhow, it's fucking great to get back with you guys, boy. Here we go. Here we are.
It's been a year. This is your third time on the show or your fourth time? I think the third time.
I think it's the third, yeah.
And I want to say you haven't invited us back on in a minute.
Yeah, dude, what fucking gives, bro?
We brought you on.
That's the whole reason why you're here. You know, it's funny, because you brought us on twice, and then you're like, oh, I'm bringing you guys on more. And you motherfucker, we've switched it up, and we've been bringing you on back to back.
This sucks that this is going to backfire so badly in you guys' face. But if you guys will do the math correctly, you guys have been on my podcast more than I've been on yours.
I don't see that. We've been on your podcast maybe twice.
Twice.
No, three, and I just hit my third with you guys. Yes, I'm one ahead of you guys.
When was it? No, this is your third time.
Challenge all your fans. I love them as much as you guys, if not more, but they're wrong.
This is your third time on the show.
Yes, and you guys have already been the third on mine.
Give me this
Hey, the one with Gus doesn't count.
You see? No, it has been 3 times. Without a doubt, it's been 3 times. Without a doubt.
Has it?
Yes.
One with Gus, one.
Another one without him.
Yes, that I remember.
At the old spot, and then one at the new spot. No, not yes, guys. We're not gonna look it up right now, but I promise you. You want to look it up? Look it up.
No, we'll circle back. We'll
Okay, we'll do that. Someone's gonna look like shit at the end of this podcast. But regardless,
You still were wearing the same shirt as last episode too.
you're wrong about that too. They're gonna look that one up. But it's great. It's great to catch up with you guys again, man. It's been a while.
I'm super excited because every time we get together in one room, it's always a great conversation. And nothing is scripted. We don't have any like blueprint. We just go with it and we just branch out. We talk one topic and we branch out. And you're such a wealth of knowledge, man. And I do really admire you because you have really good experiences and you have.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And you're full of wisdom. I love it.
What do you think is like the most trending thing going on right now?
That list.
What list?
The list of
Why not? Yeah. Why not? You saw the list of that we had posted up of
What do you think about that?
When that happened, my stomach gurgled. I went to my toilet. I dropped one and I wiped my ass with that fucking list. Okay? That's what I did with that fucking list, okay? First of all, something that I want to, remind people of, you got to check your sources, okay? That's real shit. You got to check your sources. People aren't doing that, right? You got to check your sources. Whatever the statistics are, whatever the numbers are, check your sources. Where is this coming from? Who made that list? Who the hell what's the group behind that list? What club were you at with a bunch of angry fucking women who've been shitting on their whole life? Like, I don't know the authenticity behind that fucking list. But if that list holds enough accuracy, and by all means, let's fucking go down the list and let's call that shit out. It can kiss my ass, boy.
But some of them, I kind of feel like they are reasonable.
But others, I also feel like are a little ridiculous, and there's probably some
Concur, yeah.
Okay, let's run it down. Let's run it down.
Down the list. Okay, how do we rank this?
Yeah, because it's not ranked. They just said it.
It's just a list of people. How about this? Let's rank from 1 out of 10. 10 being
Acceptable?
yeah, 1 being no. Fair?
Fair enough.
10 is good. Anything low is bad. All right.
Yeah, 1 is fuck no.
Okay, Cheesecake Factory.
First date.
First date.
Damn, you're bothering my soul that you're thinking that fucking long.
6.
Damn, we have to do a number for that. Can't we just go fucking yes, no?
Okay, I mean, well, because it depends on a first date.
What's 6? 6 means what? It's acceptable.
It's alright.
But it's not unacceptable.
Maybe there's something I would rather do than that. What is that? Higher on the scale.
Okay.
But then with that way, none of these are going to be a 10.
You don't know sporting events, the gym, maybe not a 10.
See, that's what I'm see that it just varies per. How about look.
Fine, yes or no.
Yeah, let's go down with it, and then you shoot your quick opinion on it.
But that's the thing. Cheesecake Factory. That would depend. Where does this girl live?
Okay, so go give your point.
She live in Hialeah? For sure. She's never seen a Cheesecake Factory. Does she live in West Kendall? Probably not, because she expects the finer things in life.
I think Cheesecake Factory. I wouldn't take a girl on a first date, but I also don't think it's bad.
Okay.
You see, it's a 6, right?
I'm gonna say no. First date, I don't think so. That's tough because no. You?
Not to my liking, first date, but I see nothing wrong with it, and I don't know why it's ridiculed. Like if it's some like low end shit.
Cheesecake Factory is not that cheap either.
It's not cheap at all. It's not cheap at all. I don't get it. As long, again, there's so many more to address. So let's just keep.
I think the idea is the first date should be something special. I think that's the notion behind of it.
But what is Cheesecake Factory can be special?
Exactly.
You know how many cheesecakes they have? They have pages, dude.
The thing is this, it's not about the location, bro. It's about who you with. Yeah, it's about who you with and the chemistry and all that. But again.
Oh, let's blow through it. Applebee's. No. I'm sorry.
No. Cheesecake, Applebee's.
Yes. I agree.
Chili's? That's Applebee's. No.
The only way it's chilly is if it's like some lunchtime thing that happened to fucking, I don't know. You never know.
The answer is no. No, dude.
Chipotle. No.
Chipotle? No, dude. Unless after the work, if we both worked out, I'll be like, hey, maybe we should catch up on, you know?
But it's not a date.
Could be.
Olive Garden. No.
They have Venice breadsticks, though.
They do. The movies. No.
No.
It's not a date. That's not a date.
Not anymore, no.
Your house.
Shouldn't.
It's not a date.
Fuck yeah.
Unless I say, hey.
But I say that.
No, you know what?
Okay, guys. Okay, go.
No. You go.
Here's the thing, right? And I know we don't want to go deep into it because when you throw out too many variables, then we're all over the place, right? So it'll drag this topic on. But the thing is, it depends on who you're dealing with, what the vibe is, and I'm not even talking about fucking. In case people, I'm not talking. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, what's the goal here on this first date? We keep talking about this first date. Is it elegant? Is it a nice ass dinner?
I didn't want to do
or is it hold on, do you really want to get to know me? So how can we block out everything else and you get to know me? Now it gets personal. So now that gym session sounds dope to me. That jog sounds dope to me. Coffee sounds dope to me. I know that sounds like there's no money involved, but that's really, do you really want to get to know me? Now, we're eating fancy dinner, we this and that. Yeah, we're still getting to know each other, but things start, going in a different direction in regards to like, is that what I'm proving more for you? Or do you really just want to get to know me? So when it comes to some of these locations, and it all depends on the vibe. I know that coming to my house sounds like some fuck shit, but that's because where your head's at. How about you like to be cooked for? Cause I'm pretty mean in the kitchen.
If I can throw it down in the kitchen, I have a nice place. I'll have it make it, like
we ain't gotta have an ounce of alcohol.
Yeah.
I just want you to come see how I live. Come check this food out. Let's get personal. Let's talk. Let's vibe. Let's whatever.
You can make it romantic. You open up a bottle of wine. You have
But as a first date, that sounds crazy. I get it because I just think it's because it's too much sexual shit tied to it.
So
no.
Next.
Any fast food chain.
You're right though. At the end of the day, I get it. You're right.
Any fast food chain.
No, that's crazy.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
No.
Wingstop. No. Red Lobster. No.
Too bad.
Red Lobster? I've never been.
Have you been to a Red Lobster?
Bro, I'm going to see her get all the fucking biscuits.
Have you been?
Yes, of course I have.
Dude, I see a Red Lobster like I see an Arby's. I've seen it, but I've never been inside. What's it like? You been on an Arby's?
Yeah.
Who are you?
What kind of bougie ass motherfucker are you?
I've been to Arby's once in Texas.
What the hell? You never been to a Red Lobster?
What's it?
Have you motherfuckers ever ate at KFC?
Red Lobster's kind of expensive.
No, you haven't ate at KFC.
KFC, I have.
Once, I think.
Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Yeah, once or twice.
Is that what it stands for? Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. A buffet? No.
No.
IHOP?
No.
Denny's? No. The gym? I don't think so. Unless it's really something you both are passionate about. Maybe you meet somebody and they're really into fitness. Hey, can you teach me this?
For me, yes, but
Zoom could be a date.
That's not a good date. You're gonna see me end up throwing up all over the place.
Church. No.
Unless that's your thing, but hell no. No.
Starbucks. No.
No, I disagree. And I'm not a Starbucks guy, but going out for coffee.
Coffee, yes, but not Starbucks. I would say I would say maybe like a little coffee shop, a small hole in the wall.
Okay, versus Starbucks. Oh, okay.
It's crazy how that little
I see where you say that. Okay. Yeah.
change. It's crazy how much that changed.
Yeah, I didn't think that though. I didn't.
Remember the coffee shop we went to a few weeks or a month ago when we were doing I think downtown or whatever. We were doing like the whole leveling mics. When we went to this coffee shop randomly, that was like a cool spot. You know, not bad.
If it's like a craft, local, one of one.
Because it doesn't feel personal. You got people all up in that motherfucker trying to study and looking up shit. Yeah. But when you go to a real coffee shop, you're sitting like us, chilling in the coffee break. Okay.
But at Starbucks, that's like Starbucks.
So coffee, yes. Starbucks, no.
Correct. Yeah.
Next.
Ice cream dates. It's kind of cute, actually.
Fatty.
I don't think it's just to go and get ice cream. Seems a little premature.
Nah, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get off on that front step. No, not me. Sorry.
If you like, we were adults, if you're like 18 years old, maybe it makes sense. But we're adults. Come on. No. Family functions. No.
Oh hell no.
Movie night, Netflix, Hulu, and etc. No. Somewhere that requires a long drive.
Somewhere that requires a long drive.
No. Yeah. You're kind of stuck in there. Yeah.
They start looking at you like, yo, where you taking me, dude? There's no lights out here.
Bowling. No, not a first date.
Not anymore.
If you like bowling, I'm down. If you like bowling, I'm down, dude. Because listen, it's me and you. We're seeing our silly side. We're literally just leaving ourselves exposed to this bowling shit that we know neither one of us are good at. We're just talking in between, get a little beer, I don't know. Listen, in my opinion, you want to try to expose the closest you can to who you really are as quick as you can. I know some people want to think all that whatever lovey-dove, Barbie and Ken shit. They're like, no, hold back on this and this and that. Well, it depends on what age you're at and what you're looking for and so on and so forth. But I'm not saying right away, let's go jump in the cage and fucking beat each other up and then go smoke some weed with me. And then I'm not trying to put everything all up in your face at once. But if this is something that I like to do, bowling, which by the way, that's not my thing, but I like to do random shit. I know I love to.
But not for first date.
No.
What I'm up for is spontaneity, bro.
Okay, I like it.
I think that sparks shit up.
All right. Nightclubs. No.
Hell no.
Hookah bar. No. A bar for just drinks. I would say that's a date. I like a bar. I like going to a nice little bar, having a drink.
You said a bar for just drinks, no eating.
You were saying you guys go drinks and food and drinks?
48 oysters later. 4 dozen oysters later.
I like having drinks, dude. I guess a bar and just it's like saying let's go for drinks. I think that's a date. Let's go have drinks. And you take a girl. Miami drinks are expensive. It's not about the money.
Oh, I know that. No, I know that. I just think if I'm aiming in that direction, I'm already thinking sexually. I'm already thinking.
Really? I wouldn't think that.
We're both gonna get sauced up. We're both gonna get saucy. We know where that leads, especially if there's physical attraction.
I don't like drinks on the first.
Really? Okay.
Not if you're genuinely interested.
It could be a slippery, yes, because it could be a slippery slope. Because one side is like, oh, then they let their guards down, but it's like, it can. Well, what if that turns into something else, and then it only becomes that because you didn't explore the way that you should have.
Fair enough. Okay. Waffle House.
No, dude.
The last one, sports events. I think that's a date. If I have seats to see the Heat,
I like it.
Courtside seats.
I wonder why whatever bitch made that list. I wonder why she put that.
I don't know. I guess because maybe guys are so caught up in sports. If you take me on a first date to see a sports game,
Thinking that it's just you being selfish.
because you just want to watch But some girls, a lot of girls are into sports.
But I think this is why people. I don't know why these. I don't want to blast on the chicks, but if the girls aren't thinking, damn, if this is his thing, if he likes it this much, and I'm attempting to possibly be a part of this life, let me go see what this motherfucker's about. Okay, so you're a big football fan to the extent that you want to. All right, let me go see what this is about. I'm down with that.
You want the girls to put effort, is what you're saying. Like, at least effort in the interest of the guy.
If you're being genuine about attempting something with this guy, you need to know what are these things that he really was genuine, what he loves, what's passionate. And going to football games is that thing. I would hope you want to be part of that. I just totally disagree with, go do your thing with the guys. It's football season. I'm just going to go to the mall with the girls.
No, I get that. I just think that for a first date, I think the expectation, especially this list, because you can make an argument for anything on this list. What if the guy's very passionate about going to Applebee's? You know what? Hey, if you really wanted to be with him, you might want to go. You know, it could be for anything. But I think the expectation is that the man is the one that's supposed to think and cater to the woman. So they wouldn't want to go to a sporting event, whatever. Why would he take me there? So it's like, where would I, as a woman, prefer to go? And I guess it's not on this list.
But is the idea of the first date, what does the woman want to do? Or is it, what do both of us want to do? You know, it's like, so am I doing this date for you? Is it for the both of us? Is it for me, like the sports event?
Now we're going to get a lot deeper because then...
Well, we know the women are going to say it's supposed to be for them. Do you guys agree on that? Think about it. Hold on, think about that. When on that first date, are we not talking about 95, 97, 98% of the women think that the guy, one, is paying, should be the one to take the lead, plan it, all that, whoop-de-woo, all that stuff, right?
But I think so. But yeah, because I'm
recording.
Recording or courting?
Courting. We're courting.
Yeah, because if I'm trying to court you, like I'm trying to press you, then it should be about you. And it's not about what I want. It's about who X, Y, and Z would like.
But what I'm asking you is, do you guys agree that the majority of women, that's what they expect? They want to be courted. Yeah. So at that point, I agree with you. Some of these things, some of these date options that seem not in their favor, like you're courting them, it's backfiring. No, you shouldn't.
And I wouldn't. Yeah, if I'm trying to impress a girl, I'm not gonna take her to a sporting event.
But I just don't agree with that's the approach that you should have. I agree with you. I agree with you.
So you agree with me? He agrees with me.
Did we just have a moment? Did we just become?
No, because in the sense, I agree, because you shouldn't take that route. Because what you're saying is you want to do it for the woman. You want to impress her. But ultimately, you don't want to do something for someone that you're not going to truly like to do, because that ain't you, which is what we talked about with our last guest. Where it's like you want to do something at least like kind of aligns with the other person. You don't want to pretend to be someone that you're not, which I think a lot of men fall into that, where they're like, okay, I am now going to go out of my way, and like I never go to Komodo, the restaurant, or Gecko, the Bad Bunny one. But for this girl that I'm going to go on a first date with, I'm going to take her there. That's not me.
That's not the girl I should be pursuing.
Which is what you're saying, although like it is, I guess, what you should do as a man to impress. But to your point, it's like,
I don't think he went that deep into that. I didn't get that like that. I just.
Oh, that's okay.
But no, but it can't. Yeah, but it, yeah, I get what he's saying, and I know what he means.
Wait, but let me wrap it up. But what I agree with you is in the fact that, all right, bro, but if that's what you think you should be taking this girl, then that's not your girl. Get someone that's more your level, more your vibe, with what you guys would both like, and do that instead of just trying to do something that's not even you to impress some random chick. Right? All right. Yeah, that's what.
We're on the same page. Yeah.
Right. And I'm not even thinking so much impressed, because that kind of goes a little extra. I guess, there's so many variables: who you are, what age, where you at in life, your experience, all that. I can just speak for myself. And this is, I'm not recommending this. It's up to you, bro. You're going to do what you're going to do. Where I'm at in life, we're not going out for drinks and dinner if I'm attempting anything genuine in regards to like, however I met this female, I want to get to know her. I want to go out. We're texting, we're this, we're that. I'm not thinking on that romantic. Let's go out for dinner and drinks and this. No. I'm telling you right now, I'm going the curve route. I'm throwing the curveball. Nah, I want to go out for coffee. I want to. You a gym rat? You a gym rat? Yeah. How do you? I'm gonna feel them out. And I'm gonna make that decision, but I'm not gonna be automatic on no fucking. Why don't we go out for dinner and drinks? Why don't we go out for dinner? Nah, that's the last thing.
Well, you think most girls would be receptive to your approach?
I don't know, but and I know it sounds cold-hearted, but I wouldn't give a fuck.
Exactly.
It's not about them. It's not about them. It's the formula that I think is the most beneficial for both of us. Somebody's gonna get exposed. Somebody's gonna take a chance. Somebody's gonna do all this, but we're gonna figure this out together. Listen, I want to get to know you. I'm 46. I done this, been around the road, came back for extras, all that bullshit. This is where I'm at in life. You sound dope. You sound cool. You're beautiful. I'm definitely attracted to you. I would like to approach this genuinely, and I want to get to know you on this and that level. And then boom, and I'm gonna say I want to let it go go out for coffee, go out for if she's a fitness freak, go out for a jog. Let's go to Key Biscayne Bridge. Let's go for a jog, talk, get to know each other. We're both into fitness. What I'm trying to present is this is what you can expect in a relationship. This is what I'm into. And if I'm asking you if you're down for that, I'm doing it ahead of time. I'm not going to push. I can't push that on you. We're talking about a first date, right? Kind of, So I can't push that on you. But I just feel like let's show our cards as early as we can. We don't need to. Dinner and drinks does not. We're going to be under the influence of alcohol before the dinner comes out. We're going to be trying to hold back. We're going to try to say the right thing. We're going to, it's genuine, but it's not going to really expose who we are. But again, that depends on where you at in age and, what are you looking for, No,
100%. And it depends what you're looking for. And if that's how you feel, like 100%, we could make 100,000 arguments for why dates should be simple and straight to the point and shouldn't be overly complex and stuff like that. And there's going to be somebody in the comments going to be like, oh no, I want my fucking guy to take me out to, I don't know, Komodo, or he has to take me to dinner. And we can say whatever we want. Those girls, you would never change their mind. And that's fine. Like, we've been in this for too long. You understand this. Everybody has their own opinion, and you have to find somebody who aligns with that. And we're too far into this game to try to change people's fucking minds. This is what we want, and this is what you're going to attract, and that's it. Everybody else, like, fuck you and figure out what you want. Because there's going to be a bunch of women who will be like, oh, fucking coffee, that's not a fucking date. All right, bitch, then fucking find somebody who's out there for you. But that's not us.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
I think this is a very... Hook it up with a fucking seltzer, please, whenever you got a chance.
Got you, brother.
I think this is a very valuable lesson and a very valuable moment that's happening in this podcast right now. Because, okay, I'm thinking as a woman, right? Because you would think, maybe I want to go to a nice restaurant. I want to be courted. I want to, feel special, wine and dine, but he has to impress me. But is that really important to you? Because I'm thinking what are you laughing at? I'm thinking as a woman, if anything, what is it that you truly like to do? Let's say that you're a fitness person or you like going to the gym, you like running. Wouldn't you rather a guy ask you to do something that you enjoy doing rather than just taking you to a nice restaurant? Because now think of like how you're filtering the people who are approaching you. You're not trying for someone that's just going to like wow you into this restaurant. But like, is that really like the basis of how you want to judge a person? Or let's say, for example, you liked art or you liked movies. If that case, like you meet this guy and he's just fucking going off on movies and he's like, I know this amazing drive-in cinema or fucking rooftop cinema.
Go, you got it.
I know this amazing rooftop cinema that I think would be dope. They're showing this like super old movie of this director. Oh my God, I love this director. Shit. You see, that makes sense. That's as a woman, I think whatever your interests are, I think that you should be looking and filtering out the type of dates of people who are willing to take you to the things that you enjoy doing. And men the same way, that how we've been talking. We want men to feel like, hey, does it really make sense to be taking some girl to this restaurant to impress her? It doesn't make sense. What makes sense is, you know what? Do things that you enjoy doing that's beneficial for both. Because for a first date, if you're going to think of a long-term relationship, you want it to be benefiting both people mutually. So the girl that you're dating would want to also reciprocate to what it is that your interests are. So it's almost like, okay, well, as a woman, find that. So it may not be going out to a dinner, to a nice fancy restaurant, or going to whatever the fuck it is that you want to do. Sometimes it might just be that very simple, foundational shit that you love doing that the guy likes to do too. Find that out instead of looking for this fancy shit. Because if not, I mean, what's the point of even dating at that point?
The more transparent people are with each other, the more you know what you're getting into, right? the whole cliche, you know, the realer you keep it. You know, you real recognize it real. If you can keep it real, if you can be transparent, if you can be upfront and honest about who you are, you're off to a better start. It doesn't matter what type of relationship we're talking about. You're off to a better start. You know, clarity. You know, doesn't mean I have to unfold and show every color that I have upon meeting somebody, but the clearer you are about who you are, what your likings are, your passions, your kinks, your quirks, you know, all that stuff, you know, that's, tell you what, since I just used that word, you know, your kinks, your quirks, right? You get into relationship with somebody. First of all, I need you guys' definition of relationship. When you're talking and you finally become a boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't know.
We talked about this. When you're exclusive relationship, that's what it is.
How far into it until you talk about whatever your kink is? Whatever whatever that thing is that you're into. How far into it do you think is like, you know, acceptable?
I think it depends on the person and it depends on what kink. And I feel like as you become more comfortable with this person and as you progress in being who you are and figuring out what you like, what you don't like, kinks may arise throughout their relationship while you are together. So that, you know, but if you know you have a kink, you start dating, once you become comfortable, every relationship is different. It depends how quickly you become comfortable. It might be after the first couple of dates, she does something that might be a kink for somebody else, but she's already fucking doing that. So it's like, okay, well, shit, she's that freaky. So then maybe I can elaborate and express how I feel.
Right, but he's saying like, well, should it be discussed? So there's no discussion in this scenario.
Like, should you get, like, if you know you're into that rough sex, you know, should you disclose that?
Like what kink? Like what are we talking about?
No, I just said rough sex.
Like finger in your ass or like, you know.
That's not rough. Chill out. Whoa. I mean,
no, I'm not saying rough.
If you're into that.
Right, like that could be like a little, you know, maybe I want a couple fingers on my ass. Or you know what? I want you to slap me and spit in my face or
Well, I guess what I mean is like, okay, if you know that it's leading in a certain direction, or if you think, okay, it's going to go there, we're 1 date in, 2 days in, whatever it is you think is acceptable, should I tell them, because I think we're about to have sex, we're going to hook up really soon, should I tell them, oh, by the way, and it doesn't have to happen on the first sexual experience, obviously, but should you tell somebody, like, hey, man, you know, I'm into that kinky shit, I'm into that rough shit, I'm into that whatever, should you expose that early on so you can say, don't jump in bed with me if you're not willing to get to that point at some point, you know?
Good point, yeah.
Because I want to know that ahead of time if you're, you know, whatever the fuck it is, because I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know I signed up for this. You know, I did.
It's a good point because let's say you're into this stuff and that other person is undoubtedly not willing to do that. Then it's like, okay, what the fuck are we doing here?
Exactly. You're gonna always be dissatisfied.
And then I wouldn't pursue you.
You should have told them earlier on.
So I think at the beginning, yeah, it depends.
But when is it? When is that beginning? That's the part that I mean. Maybe 1 sexual or 2 sexual experiences in.
Few sexual experiences.
You think that there should already have?
That's where the toss-up is.
But I'm also, yes, okay.
That's where it's at. Before or after a couple sex?
That was my question. Because I'm also thinking maybe some women wouldn't want to give it up to not get an additional number for a guy that they don't really
think that they can, yeah.
Right. So maybe for them, it makes more sense that while they're talking and maybe it's getting closer to like, hey, I think I might sleep with this guy. Or I think we might actually have sex.
But I'm going to tell this girl on the second date that I like so-and-so. Like, it's
well, how soon are you? Well, now there has to be more reservation on the woman then at this point. Where the woman can't have sex on the first date or the second date. Well, in your case, the third. Because for her, she would then have to say, okay, well, let's have a simple date first to talk to see if we even like each other.
Oh, shit. I want to, fuck.
Maybe like another date to see if like we're intimate. And then on the third date, maybe be like, yo, I like where this is going. I just kind of wanted to tell you this, you know.
I want to ask you guys a question, right? And I know I'm doing this like fuck, on the spotlight, but you don't have to answer it. We can drive around it however you want.
Cut it out.
No, you don't have to cut it out. Don't do that.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Do you guys remember that first conversation about how you are in bed and what any hint of it when you first got with your girlfriends?
Like how am I in bed? What do you mean?
Like when you had your first sexual talk
with my girl?
Yeah. you remember how many dates in? Do you remember when it happened?
Definitely not me. You maybe.
So me and
And listen, and every relationship starts differently, obviously. So it could have.
so we were intimate on our third date. But we had talked for a little bit. It was COVID. Nothing really was. We didn't really see each other that well, but we were speaking for a while. But yeah, we had sex on our third date, but
Without talking about it, though. Without ever talking about it.
we never talked. Yeah, we had gone to the beach and whatever, blah, blah, and things just happened, but we didn't talk about it. Like,
Beach bunny you.
it was COVID. There was nothing else open. It was that, and we went to some Lagniappe. That was our first date. But there was nothing open, so it was a very weird time. But yeah, no, we didn't talk about like, oh, like this is what I like and this is what I don't like. No, it just kind of happened. And then later on, like, I mean, the great thing about her, we're very open about what we like, and our communication is excellent. But from the beginning, I set those bounds. Tell me, what do you like, what do you don't like, you know. So she doesn't like fucking getting slapped or some shit like that. Some girls, they love that shit. But it's like you have to have that communication early on. But it wasn't like, oh, like, this is what needs to happen. But, you know, I think there was definitely some talks, but it wasn't that early on.
Have you, damn, I'm going to stop after this question because I don't want to get nobody in trouble. Have you ever been asked to commit a certain sexual act or a certain, gesture during sex in order for the female wanted it and you were like, oh shit, like, slap me, choke me, punch me, elbow me, whatever the hell it is. I don't know. Spit on me, talk shit, whatever. Any of those, on that level. Sorry to.
No. I'm very open with most things. I mean, but I've never been to the point where I was like, I'm not comfortable doing that. I've slapped girls. They could slap me.
They've slapped you?
And then there was times it was like it would hurt. I'm like, oh fuck, it's gonna hurt.
They slapped you?
Yeah, but it would turn them on. But I'm like, okay.
This first time you hear this?
Yeah, but nothing was like, that's too much. Like, no girl would be like, oh, can you take a shit on my chest or something like that. Like, that would be too much. That's crazy. No.
What's the level before that?
Yeah, man. It sounds like you've gone a couple of fucking.
I've done a few things, but nothing like that would challenge my comfort. Like I'm very open.
All right, well, that's cool. That's cool. I don't want to put you on the spot like that. No. I get. No, that was not my.
I wouldn't say anything that I'm not comfortable saying, especially because of whatever. But no, like the good thing about my relationship and most of my relationships, they've been very transparent. But my current relationship even more so. Like, I think you have to be able to communicate with your partner, especially if this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, because after a while, the same positions they get redundant, right? You gotta experiment, you gotta try, you gotta use toys, you gotta do all kinds of things.
Whoa.
Yeah, but as long as you're comfortable with your partner and you're open with it, I don't see it being a big deal at all.
Chris, you been put on the spot before where you felt uncomfortable? I don't mean, we're not talking about your girl. I'm talking about in the past where some.
No, I don't even. No. I'm trying to think, but not that I can recall anything like weird or awkward. I know that I have slapped some bitches.
Open fist or like closed?
What the fuck? One's a charge. The other one is kinky, bro. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Maybe
you Germans just do things.
Maybe you done some things. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
No, dude. It was but it was light. It wasn't like hard.
Bro, I had a chick look down at me in the middle of sex, and we were both sauced up and all that, but she tells me out of nowhere, I want you to slap me. But I'm like eyes closed, trying to focus because I'm a little bit too drunk, I'm getting close, whatever. And I'm like, I open one eye like if I'm waking up in the early morning, like, did she just say what I think she said? And I said, huh? And she's like, slap me, motherfucker. No, she didn't say slap me. She said hit me. She said hit me, motherfucker. And then I open up my second eye and I'm like, stop playing. And I just try to focus again, because she's on top and whatever. And she goes, you pussy. I'm being for real. Hit me. Open my eyes and I'm like, are you for real, for real?
You know I do Muay Thai, right? You know I train.
No, watch how that backfired for me. I said, hey, seriously, stop playing. You're about to throw me off here, And I'm telling her that because She wanted to have sex earlier, and I'm like, girl, I'm spinning. I'm a little fucked up. I don't know if I can, perform tonight because I was just too fucked up. She drove. So I told her, hey, chill, let me eat, let me this, and that. So when I told her, hey, we're going to do the business, but you understand, I'm focusing here. I'm trying to really, So when that came around, I looked at her like you about to throw off my focus talking this shit about hit me, So I said, hey, for real, stop. She got quiet. I closed my eyes, stirring her up on top of me, whatever. And then out of nowhere, I hear Mr. fucking MMA wants to roll around with a bunch of half-naked guys, but he can't hit his bitch when she asked for it. Like, I heard all that with my eyes closed, bro, as I'm just, And then I opened my eyes. I looked at her, and she's like, hit me, bitch. Bro, I was so upset. I wanted to hit her. No, I didn't.
No?
Who's this girl, dog?
So I said, luckily this is like 15, 12 years ago, whatever it was. So I told her, I was like, do you feel that? Because my shit just started going soft. It wasn't as hard as it was. I go, do you feel that? I said, this shit is never gonna get up again if you don't shut the fuck up. Now I'm not playing. Stop with that bullshit, or we're done. Sorry. That was it. She started doing her thing, whatever. My shit didn't go super limp. It went back up. We're back in action. So we're back in action. I'm closing my eyes again because I'm so drunk. Like, if I look at her, she's just like blurry. It's just throwing me off. Ladies, this is what happens to us, okay? So don't fucking think we're thinking about somebody else. We're just not trying to see blur in front of us. So my eyes are closed. She's moaning and whatnot. Now she's in the groove. And as she starts moaning, it kind of like snaps me out of, me trying to zone out. And I open my eyes and I'm looking at her and I'm like, God damn, she's so lucky, like physically this is active because mentally I'm gone. I said, like, I'm not there, but my shit's rocking. And I'm like, I just start thinking evil shit. This dumb bitch, what the hell was she thinking, asking me to hit her? I should fucking hit her right now while she's not ready. Look at her. Her eyes are closed. She would have no idea if I just wound up and fucking wah! And I hit her.
No way.
And I hit her good. I hit her good. Open hand to your closed hand shit. Open hand. I hit her. And I hit her and I didn't even know what to expect, dude. It was the wildest, craziest, stupidest shit I've ever done because I'm not into that. And that bitch took it and she fucking looked at me and she goes, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. Bro, she said that and I was mad. I was mad. And this is, and I promise you I'll circle back that at the end of it, how it left me, but I was so mad I fucking grabbed her by the throat and I go, shut the fuck up. Cause I realized, oh shit, I slapped her just to befool her, just make fun of her. Like
She liked that shit.
And she turned around and loved it, so it backfired. And then I was like, at that point, I felt like, man, she gained control again. And some weird thing came about me, because I'm drunk and I'm mad and all kind of things. But I'm also mad because my dick is working and I can't tell her, like, this doesn't stimulate me because evidently it's working. But really, mentally, I'm gone. I'm like, this is the stupidest shit, So I told her, shut the fuck up. I was mad. Shut the fuck up. Okay, baby. And then now she gets all submissive and I'm like, oh my gosh, she really thinks I'm doing this. Like, she thinks like I'm into this. She thinks I'm literally in role play mode and I'm not. But then I went for it, but for my comedic fucking entertainment, bro. I'm like, you know what? She really thinks I'm into it. I'm just going to act stupid. Her eyes are closed right now. Pop! Slapped her again. Pop! Slapped her again. Pop! Slapped her. Bro, I just started target practicing. And all I was doing and thinking in the back of my head, you dumb bitch, you really like this? You're really into this? I have no understanding for this at all. And then I just stopped. I stopped doing that to her. And then she goes, oh my God, I love it. Oh my God. And then she like came down and started hugging me, like, like closer, whatever. And at that point, somewhere there, I just told myself, I'm gonna have to fake an orgasm and just stop this shit. This is the worst shit, but my shit was working. So I couldn't so I just eventually, I don't know, like 5-6 minutes later, because pulling out, sorry. So pulled out, act like I had to pull out and all that stuff. And that's what happened. That was the most oddest shit ever, dude. And I don't know. It's one of those things. Like, it was odd what it made me do, because I didn't do it out of being turned on. I did it out of frustration and anger. But it gave me a reality check. The reality check was, oh shit, this is what these people get into. This is how they get pulled into it. Like, I got the stupidest hint of it. Not that I wasn't turned on, but I was frustrated. I was angered. And because of my anger, I wanted to, like, belittle her. I wanted to, make her less of me by slapping her up and making her think that I was into it, but I wasn't into it. So right there, I realized later on, oh shit, this has to be that gateway drug to people who get into that type of shit.
I've never been into like the hitting and stuff like that, but some girls are into that shit.
What do you make of that? You've talked to enough therapists and psychologists on your podcast. You guys really have. You guys are way more educated nowadays. Where do you think they get that from?
The hitting? I mean, you think it's like a dominance thing where it's like they want to be dominated and put in their place, quote unquote?
Maybe. I think it could also be some sort of response, like when you slap, like maybe that stimulation. They're like, yes.
Because you're having intercourse, generally speaking, and then you're hitting, so maybe it's like they're aroused, the pain. It's like, oh fuck,
man, that nah.
Y'all ever wonder what girls feel during sex? Have you talked to your girl? Has she told you what she feels? What do girls feel during sex? Because maybe that slap may help. Because I can't see myself inside a girl and a girl slapping me and me being like, yeah, I was hot. So I wonder what they must feel that when maybe you slap them and they're like, whoa. Or like you slap their ass and they're like,
I don't know. I get weirded out about those talks, bro, because I feel like I feel like there's some weird psychological.
you brought this shit up.
No, I know. No, I'm just saying, but as far as trying to bring up I didn't bring it up to talk about why girls like it. Because it was a wild story that happened to me. No.
No, but you're asking why. Well, you asked where that came from, with the slapping. Why that came from? Like why they might like that.
Well, because we were talking about kinky sex, is what we were saying. We were talking about when to open up for kinky sex, and then the whole conversation went that route. And then you spilled your beans and let us know that you're into punching people in the fucking jaw. And then once you fucking got into that violent mode, I thought, oh yeah, I remember when this chick, wanted me to get violent on her, and that's what brought up the story. But I don't. People who are into that, who am I? I don't want to insult you. I think it's fucking odd. I think it comes up from some weird.
We can ask the audience.
I'm trying to see what's like the craziest shit that people have done.
Yeah, ask the audience. Ask your viewers if you're into any type of kink. And by the way, how do we define what a kink or a freakiness is? If it's the ass slap, if it's a little bit of choke, if it's a little bit being thrown around, if it's role play, whatever it is, people chime in, please. I know they're always getting educated. That's why they have such a great podcast. I always want to learn shit. What do you guys think? Like, what are your responses if you're into it? Expose it, open up, be vulnerable. Tell us what you're into and why, like what it does for you.
Have you ever had sex with a girl and you wanted to do something and she wasn't about it?
Like what?
I'm asking you, like something you wanted to try for her to
provide an example. Hold on, Wes. Give me an example.
My example is gonna be weak as fuck.
I want to know. He's asking this for a reason. Give me an example.
No, because we're talking about the subject of like.
I think, and he's he has the right to do this. I think he's trying to in the right way expose me.
No,
watch it. No, listen, but in a nice, courteous way. He wants to basically tell me, Wes, you ain't even fucking, you ain't journeyed through shit. You ain't tried shit. How do you know if you'll like it or not if you haven't tried this? And
that's not the angle I was pursuing.
I think this is the angle he was coming at. This motherfucker has been asked some crazy shit, and he's like, wait, let me see if someone else has some crazy stories. Because they must have asked you some shit.
But you're asking me, have I been denied asking some girl to do something? No.
That's been denied.
I haven't asked anything. It's just kind of been given to me. Like, it's been like there's been an opportunity to have sex and certain things would be done and it just would work. What have I?
Oh man, you putting them out there, Chris.
He's asking. I want to know where this question is coming from.
No, I'm not gonna like divulge like those informations, but I'm asking you.
All right, I'll divulge for you. Okay, so at most, some type of booty fondling. At most, slightly denied on that. You know. Because I guess because maybe they thought like I don't know, damn, this is crap. We're getting in today. Holy shit. Because they probably thought that I was gonna like jab that shit
in their ass.
Yeah, they thought I was just gonna because I'm not talking about penetrating. I'm talking about fondling. So they probably thought I was gonna fucking jab or some shit like that when I was just literally fondling. So that was one of those.
You're like record scratching.
Yeah, chicka. That's it, you know.
With your finger or with your dick?
No, with the finger. No, with the finger. No, with the finger. That's why I said fondling. No. But on the flip side of that, I've had a couple of ex-girlfriends who was like, listen, anal's not my thing. I'm like, no, it's not mine either. Well, I don't know because your finger. No, that's different. I'm just fondling. I'm having fun. I'm this. Whatever. I'm just having fun with that. But no, I'm not trying to get all up in it. That's not my thing like that. No.
So you're not big on anal.
If it does it for her, I'm down. I'm not turned off by it at all. I'm down, but it doesn't call my attention like that. Nah. Not like that.
You're not like an asshole fanatic.
Say what?
You're not like an asshole fanatic.
No. What do you mean asshole for that? Not even. What do you mean?
No, you're not big on.
What is it? It falls right in line with talking about this, but no. In the beginning, it was, have I been denied? That's the most I've ever attempted where I was slightly denied or questioned or, somebody pumped the brakes. Never did I do it. I'm not that kinky like that. That's why I said you were trying to expose me. I'm not that kinky like that where I'm like, hey, what's up? You down for a couple elbows and a fucking dick sandwich? No. Claudia, blink twice if you need help. No, bro.
Oh man.
To each his own. That's it.
Have you ever had someone get too close?
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah. Nah, you know what? Like it was like I get it. I get the effort, and then I get that no means yes, but a no it really means no. So they tried again. But then it was the third time I was like, I almost got angry. I was like, hey, like, I'm not playing around, Yeah, like get the fuck out of there. No, they fucking saw the stop sign in the middle. The what do you call that? The gooch?
The gooch.
I have a fucking stop sign there. They went past that. I'm like, warning. Right? Then boom, all up in the, whoa, what the fuck? I wasn't playing. Chill out. Bomb all in the middle of what? They go for a second time, which is technically a third time. Now I'm fucking grabbing the hair and I'm looking at them like, bitch, I will drop elbows from here. Like, I'm not playing. Don't do that. Like, that's not my thing. I'm not into that.
All right, so now your thing. All right, I got you.
It's funny because when you get denied, it's like people think like, no, I can break them.
Well, sometimes maybe for some is a no is like, oh,
for him, he can get broke. That's what you're trying to say. Chris is like, I can break him. He can get
no.
This motherfucker broken, dog.
Sometimes the no means like,
no wonder you walk funny, Marv.
Sometimes the no means maybe persuade him, a few drinks, whatever, blah blah blah. I'm just saying that's maybe what someone would think.
I get it. I do. I want to question. I want to ask you guys something, right? Especially not just because you got girlfriends, but I love to watch other podcasts, as you guys do, and compilation of podcasts and all that stuff. Street interviews, things of that nature. I want to ask you guys this in regards to got girls who are in a relationship who dress provocatively when they step out. One, do you guys think? I think it sucks that I have to ask, do you have a say so? Because that's I wish it was something. There was another
different word.
But yes, should you have an influence on your girl about the way she's dressing to go out? And that's so general that I'm sure a lot of your fans are gonna be like, man, what are you talking about? Every time I get dressed, I gotta ask my man what I'm allowed to wear. No. We're not going that far. No. If you're dressing too provocatively, does your man, husband, boyfriend to be, whatever it all that, somebody significant in your life, does he have the right to be like, hey, I would appreciate it if you didn't wear that because it looks a little bit, it attracts a little bit, it does a little bit of this. Do you have that right? And should women be, dare I say, submissive to it, be okay with it?
Yeah, I great question. You asking about my personal?
In general, and I mean, I think it's going to apply either way, right?
I think in general, I think it's a matter of respect. I don't like the word of like allowing or like controlling. I don't like the wordage, but I do think that if as a man, your partner dresses in a certain way where it's like really out of bound, where it's like ass cheeks super out, tits hanging out, it's like, dude, what are you doing? You're a committed relationship. You're exclusive. I think you're stepping out of bounds. And at that point, I feel like a guy does have the right to speak up. In my situation, I do have, like I'm not at the beginning of the relationship, but not as much anymore. Most of the time we go out together. There's been times when she wears something and I'm like, the thing, she has larger, just top heavy is I guess the word.
PG, what the fuck?
Yeah, she has larger, yeah. And so anything she wears usually will be a little bit more than maybe somebody who's a little bit slimmer. So obviously certain outfits look a little bit more provocative is I guess what you...
Without her even trying to.
Right, and she's not trying. And that she's an amazing woman, never gave me any doubts, et cetera, et cetera.
But if we piggyback that so that women have a little bit more, and I don't want to speak for you, so you correct me wherever I'm wrong, right? Let's just say your woman, for example, she's more bustful, right? So there's a difference between I think I'm on camera. There's a difference between the bikini or the blouse, the shirt, whatever it is, shows that like the UM, it shows like that U cleavage, versus V cut and now that center valley that we're about a quarter inch or two away from a nip slip, where all that stuff, or the new bikinis where it shows the bottom of the tit, like that. So.
It's like the undercut, yeah.
Chris, are you agreeing with that? How do you feel about that? You a little bit more lenient on it?
What this thing, what's it called?
What the
solar plexus. When you see the fucking little thing right here showing, that little area, that's too much. The way I see it is, I think as a relationship, I don't think the man should have a say in what the woman wears. I think the woman should have the common sense to know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate.
So you're correct, but now what if we insult them or give them leeway and say, well, they've never been told that. Maybe they should be educated on that the right way, right? Well, they didn't realize that was that big of a deal.
You mean the outfit that they're wearing?
Yeah, that being that provocative is insulting to your man if you're in a relationship. And again, I'm going off based upon all these street interviews, all these podcasts. The majority of these women, by the way, are answering like, you met me like this, and this is what you signed up for.
Fair enough. Yeah.
What do you mean fair?
I agree.
If there's a girl, an IG model, and she's posting fucking half naked pictures on Instagram, and that's how I meet her on the streets, that's how she dresses every day, and I'll start dating her, and I'm gonna tell her, oh, don't wear this. Who the fuck am I? I met you this way, dude. Come on.
But you're talking about somebody who's making money, that's her business, so on and so forth.
Necessarily. What if she doesn't? But that's just how she poses. I'm not gonna pursue somebody and try to change who they are. I'm just not.
Hoes are gonna be hoes.
If she's gonna dress like this when I met her,
Well, I'm not gonna say that they. Okay.
And arguably, they say what? Once a cheater, always a cheater. They have those sayings. So we can say hoes will be hoes. And it's almost like if there's a woman who's posting half-naked pictures and I'm attracted to that shit and I slide in those DMs, dude, I know I'm not the only one in there. And we're all there for the same reason.
Okay, so do you guys think that? All right, there's one clip that I saw. It left an impact on me. I was like, damn, okay. She wasn't that young. He wasn't that young. Everybody involved in the interview was not that young. We know. I think when you're too young, no disrespect, your opinion doesn't matter. You're still fucking living life. You think this, you think that, whatever. You'll figure it out. All right, so these people were of the age, of the maturity, of the whatever. So Buddy's interviewing homegirl. She's a beautiful chick. Beautiful, good-looking chick. She's got one of those, whatever you called it. Okay, so it looked like it looked like two boxes. It looked like a bikini. It looked like two boxes where the center.
Mesh in the middle or something?
No mesh. No. Only the strings attaching on the bottom and the back. So you saw the inside of her cleavage, like a whole massive amount of the middle part of their tits. And then it was just two little boxes that went over her tits, and then the strings went to the back. It looked very bikini-ish, right? Slim stomach, and she has some real low-riding jeans, like low on the hips. Dude interviews her. Dude says, all right, what do you think you're out of a 1 through 10? She says, oh, I'm a 10. Buddy's like, all right, nobody's a 10, this and that. But you mind if we ask somebody? She's like, yeah, go ahead. But she did look good. It was one of those few times that it was accurate. He grabbed some random dude, cool ass, I think it was a white boy, cool ass white boy. He comes up, what's up, man? He hugs the guy. He wasn't drunk. You can tell he was good. He was good to go. Hey, man, listen, man, we're doing this and that. What do you rate her out of 1 through 10? He goes, respectfully, no disrespect at all. I'm just, he's asking me. She's like, no, go ahead. He goes, I ain't gonna lie, you bad. You bad. I'm a 10 is perfect. Ain't nobody a perfect. I'm gonna give you a 9. I'm gonna give her a 9. She's bad, bro. She goes, oh, thank you, whatever. But he goes, okay, do you think she looks like wifey material? He goes, all right, again, with all due respect. She goes, no, go ahead. With all due respect, you're beautiful, and I don't know you. Like, I really don't, but from what I'm seeing, from what I'm looking, do you like wifey material? No. She's like, what the fuck you mean? Like, you don't even know me. Like, what do you, why would you say that? You don't even know me. And then her girlfriend gets all involved. Well, shut the fuck up, whatever. That girl's talking all that shit, but whatever. And then he says, listen, again, he's interviewing me. He's asking me, like, I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just saying, you're beautiful. And you might be a great person, but what you're showing right now, the average guy, the way the fellas think, you look like a hoe. And that's where it all went ape shit. So my question is to you guys. Do you agree? Does it come out of you naturally, you guys?
This one, right?
There you go, right there.
I'll send it to you.
At your point in,
Can I play it here real? We go and finish it.
at this point in life where you're at, your level of maturity, your experience, you're all that. Do you have this certain, pretense in your head of a female, depending on how she dresses, while she's out and about, the same way this girl is?
Let's
Dress very provocative, probably out in like brickle-ish type areas, type whatever. Do you start thinking she looks like she's a hoe? She can't be a housewife? Like, what goes through your head?
man, play this really quick into that way we can.
It's a little lengthy.
What's up? Hey, do you think she's wifey material by showing her boobs out?
Who? Wifey material by showing her boobs? I mean, she's pretty fine. I don't know about wifey material by showing her
because
boobs.
wifey material doesn't define what you're wearing. It's the type of person that you are.
Nah, true shit. Okay, I agree. But let's say if I was your boyfriend, I wouldn't like you to be wearing this
But
shit.
you're not giving. You're not. She's my girlfriend.
No, I'm not. That's why I don't give a fuck.
And I want my girlfriend to wear this. I think my girlfriend looks hot. I want my girl to go out like that.
She
But
looks
answer
good.
this.
I agree.
What is a guy gonna think when he sees this?
She a little
I want my girl to go out and everybody be like, oh, she's
Just
hot.
thinking as a guy.
Excuse me?
That's
So you're
mine as
calling me
guy.
a
That's the way guys think.
So
bro.
yes or no, are you calling me
I am.
So that might have been a little bit too far, right?
Calling her a slut?
Yeah, because I think that's too far. I don't think we have the right. We don't have the right to do it.
He didn't call her a slut. But well, he did because she was looking for it. Because he was saying like, okay, well, to your point, I'm answering his question. She kind of looks like a slut. Like if you ask me as a man, I would look at her and I think she's a slut. And then she's like, so you're calling me a slut?
But Chris, do you agree though that she looks like a slut?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. You do too?
Yeah, I think she's.
Well, I don't know. I didn't really see her. I don't.
I saw the outfit. Is this some? Would I be comfortable? My girl wearing this?
Okay, but that's different. No. I didn't. But I didn't say that part. No, your girl wearing that. Fuck no.
Okay, so then what are we talking about?
This is a single girl out and about with her friend. Do you automatically assume because of the way she's dressed that she looks like a slut? You guys just think that she just sleeps around. She throws that pussy around like that just because of the way she's dressed?
She might not fuck guys like that, but by saying slut, you mean like fucking other dudes?
Yeah, like she's actively throwing it, doing it.
I can't say that.
Okay, look, she doesn't look like.
It's not about can you say it. That just does it come out of you like you automatically think, oh, this bitch is searching for dick.
I don't think she looks like a slut, but does she look like wifey material?
No, she doesn't.
Okay, that's a lot. I like that better. Right?
She doesn't look like a slut. No, she's pretty. She's pretty hot.
But is it somebody that I would like wife down, build a family with? I'm sorry, dude.
That's no, maybe. But that's not what she's portraying, though. Because if someone who wants to, introduce you to mom and dad and build a family and shit, long term, I see this girl having my children. Just like that, dude. That's not what you're showing me.
Yeah, I want to be clear on this, though, right? Assuming she's a single. By the way, they act like they were a couple. If you saw deeper into the video, they act like they both had a bad breakup and they both gave each other a chance and they're now fucking dating. That was like their second date or some shit like that. So whatever. But anyhow, just in case any of your fans come back firing like, oh, these bitches, this and that.
The girls?
Yeah, those two girls, yeah. What I'm saying is this. You can choose to live your life the way you want to when you're single. And I know that certain ways of dressing and certain ways of mannerisms and the way you act and talk are going to give off a certain energy, a certain look. And everybody has the right to assume, oh, well, if you talk, walk, and act and sound like a duck, then I'm just going to assume you're a duck. I get that. I just don't think that dressing that provocative, it doesn't pump the idea in my head that she's a hoe just because she's dressed like that. Does she want attention? Hell yeah. She's screaming hard for it, especially as a good-looking girl by the way she's wearing this. Yeah. But I'm not going to assume that she's just sleeping around for her, that she just, I don't, that doesn't go through my head. I just wouldn't say that the way Buddy said that and the way some guys think. No, yeah, she's begging for attention, but that doesn't mean she's pulling the trigger. I don't want to jump that gun.
Maybe not, but I mean, whether she fucks a bunch of guys or not is irrelevant. The question is she somebody I would approach for serious remission? No, I wouldn't.
Two things. One, we originally started saying this like, hey, well, do you as the boyfriend have a say in what she wears? In this case,
there's no boyfriend involved or none.
There is none, but if your girl wanted to wear that, it may not be, because what you just said, she's wearing that, because she wants to get attention and stuff like that. Why? If you're in a relationship, your girl, you would, like, that's not why. You don't want to get that extra attention. I mean, I don't think that's the point. I don't want to go out and get out attention from everybody else. Like, I'm with you. That's my focus. So as someone who's taken, I'm not trying to impress other people or to get that attention. So I think that's kind of the main point. Whether she sleeps with people or not, I mean, I don't give a fuck. I think the problem here was the reason why he was being so aggressive and combative with her was because she was fighting with this guy. He was just answering the questions I was asked, and he was like, yo, just, I'm just answering, this is what I would say. I mean, this is what a man would think. But then she's taking it like, oh, you're calling me this? Right. Fuck you. And he's like, fuck you. Like, you look like a slut. Like, it's not, don't get mad at me. It's just what you look like. I'm not calling you a slut. You just look like one. So, what do you want to do there?
Yeah, I listen, I have my moments where I talk a whole hell of shit about women. But then there's a lot of times where I'm like, man, they got it hard, man. They got it hard. I do. When it comes to those type of situations where it's like, damn, I'm just trying to look sexy. I ain't trying to give off that I'm a hoe.
I get that, because you want to look good, but you can't look too good because then...
Because here's the thing, right? Like, what I try to do is I really do try to sympathize because of the shoes that I've been in. I'm like, all right. Like, don't ask me, that body count shit, and we can talk about that after this topic, but that body count shit, I think that's hilarious how there's so much emphasis on that by guys. Because the truth is, one, you're going to be lied to. Two, like, it doesn't define them. If you think it defines them, damn, I don't know what to tell you, because my body count doesn't define me. My past doesn't define me. And I got a hell of a past.
You don't think it matters?
It has a certain amount of relevance, but what are we talking about? Because are you going to say that this person hasn't had any kind of change in any kind of great or positive direction after the past?
No, I'm just thinking, isn't there like some scientific kind of backing of like how
But it was never really proven. Like there was no evidence to support that.
was it not? I mean, I don't know, because I even saw a video the other day of even a woman talking about it, how like women, since they're more emotional, they get more attached to the man after they have sex, whereas a man, they don't really see sex as.
Okay, yeah.
I think we had on, who was it that we had on? What's this guy's name? We had on somebody, and he couldn't support that.
Mackin.
Mac and Murphy, yeah, he couldn't support that theory. Like the bonding that women have.
Supposedly, yeah, that when a woman has too many partners, that it affects like the capability of bonding to one actual partner. So like if you think of a woman who's had a lot of partners and then you try to wife them up, it's like more difficult for them to solidify the bond because of the reps.
Also, if you date a girl, let's say she's been with 30 guys, and let's say you guys break up, she's more likely to move on easier than a girl that's been with 3 guys, because she's only been with 3 guys versus 30, which I guess that kind of makes sense. But so I don't know. I guess the question is, does body count matter? I think it's relative.
I don't know, because like I think for a man, because dude, I don't know. I've had sex with girls and I not really cared for her. Call me an asshole. I mean, I'm a changed man now. You know, different now.
What do you mean? But that's not an asshole. But okay.
But whatever. Some girls can be like, "Oh, the guy's a piece of shit because he told me." Well, I was an asshole. Let me clarify that. I was the asshole. Let me change that. So I was the asshole. So yeah, I would feed a bunch of girls bullshit, and then I never believed it because I'm just like, oh, whatever. I had sex. You know, I was an asshole. But I feel like for girls, not all, but for most, I think it's a little bit different, where they're like, you know, they have to allow the man in. Like us guys, like we got to work for that. Like we got to, you know, try to.
Yeah, but I think, man, I don't know, man. You guys are putting too much emphasis into that nowadays. Like the times have changed. All that's different now. I just don't understand. Okay, so what's the count then? Where's the cap? And where's the science behind that? Where's the cap of how many men does a female have to be with? Where now it's not worth it. Like I don't know.
Let me ask you a question. If you had to pick 2 girls, almost identical, one's had sex with 4 guys, the other one's had sex with 350 guys.
It's a big number.
Average girl in Miami.
Doesn't matter that you said it. Doesn't matter. That's a big number.
But again, if you're gonna give me those circumstances, it changes everything, because those are the only variables that I have. But that really it is. Here's the thing though. But if you told me, hey,
Apples to apples.
no, if you told me, hey, you're really vibing with this one, damn near falling for her, and then she tells you, I've been with 350 guys. This one, she's awesome. She's cool. You haven't really connected like that, you know, but she has all the attributes. She has like, damn, this is a picture perfect girl. And then she tells me she's been with 4. Man, I don't think that doesn't do it for me. Everything has to do with what you've been through.
What if you both been vibing?
Yeah, you're vibing with both, dude. In fact, you know what? You're a bachelor, you know? You're dating, you're seeing what's out there, and you find these 2 girls that you found, you know?
I don't date 2 girls. I date 1.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever, motherfucker. Let's say, okay, you're dating one, and let's say it didn't work out.
What do you mean? Yeah, okay, that's true. I don't double date.
2 girls. You're vibing with both. One's had 4 bodies, the other one's had 400.
New car, do I want a fucking used car? Right? Yeah.
Thank you for support.
I just want you to answer that question.
Okay. So what makes you guys so valuable?
What?
What makes you guys such valuable catches? You guys are used ass fucking cars. What makes you guys so valuable?
We are.
Tell me you hold yourself very fucking valuable, right? You guys feel like you're pristine guys.
I think we're amazing, actually. I think we're...
Without talking numbers or anything like that, you guys have definitely been around the fucking block. But what you guys aren't degraded. So why would you insult women like that? Like they're that degraded.
I'm not insulting, but it's a bit of reality. If we think about it, dude.
If you put too much thought into it, like.
What you mean, dude?
You just said if you think about it. Yeah, if you think about it. If you put too much thought into it, like.
A woman can have sex with anybody that she chooses to. All she has to do is say yes. We got to work for that shit. You going to tell me you don't have to work for your shit? Or you got to like that?
What, I just don't understand why you listen, are you falling in love with the pussy? Or you fall in love with the person? Are you thinking about a future of what? Are you thinking about a future of what? Happiness, common ground, sharing these likes and dislikes, sharing these views and these religious, whatever, all that. That's what it's about. It's not about that fucking sex count.
You're the first one to say not to throw variables. Not to throw variables when we're talking about the restaurants. You're like, oh, we got to see, are we vibing? How long have I known each other? Are they into fitness or are they not? No variable.
But you only gave me an option between, the only variable is.
You like them both the same. You're vibing with both. You're like, yo, this girl's fire. Oh, and this girl's fire too. 400 bodies. 4.
Who do I vibe with better, man? The bodies don't matter. I don't know.
You vibing with both the same.
By the way, Angelo, we fucking love you, bro.
Shout out.
Boys put me on to you, and now you're back with them, and we fucking love you. You're awesome. Thank you, Angelo.
Shout out. It's funny. He's probably watching the video. Like, oh shit, I know this fucking guy. Actually, he probably doesn't know how you look like.
No, of course he does. He's editing all my videos, bro. Angelo's the fucking man, bro. He gives me all great advice. He's awesome.
Turn your brain on.
Angelo, you're awesome, dude.
You stupid?
Anyhow,
Maybe he doesn't pay attention to it. Like they all look the same, dude.
Jesus Christ, you had a moment there. He had a moment there.
Happens to the best of us. Whatever. Go ahead. I think you were saying something.
I was just referring to that.
Well, you don't think body count matters then?
Let's not get back into that.
I mean, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, no. Listen, what I'm saying is this: we've been influenced in such a way by our society that the male ego really plays a huge role. The whole image of the man is supposed to be the caretaker, the breadwinner, the this, the that, the protector, or whatever, that's been passed on for so many years. The same way the woman's supposed to be, at the house and so on. We're on a whole different level right now.
Yeah, we're different world that we live in.
But we haven't shook some of the
cultural norms.
Yes, that sticks with it, which is we want purity. We want the least experienced girl, so that we feel like they're gonna. You'll never think this, so that we feel like they're gonna cherish us. Like I'm that one. I'm the last one. I'm the best one. I'm the biggest one.
I'm the only one.
Only one. What does that do? That's an ego stroke.
I get what you're saying.
That's what I mean by that, and it's not something I want to argue. It's just a belief of mine. And I was telling you, Marv, off camera for a second there. I can't recite it, but there's a lot of science that that theoretically supports it in regards to what the societal influence has been for so long. We're talking about hundreds of years ago, centuries ago, and what it does to the man and why we're supposed to all this ape shit, and it just is carried this far long, and it's gone to this part of now we're trying to get as equal as possible. Now we're trying to this, that, everything we're on the same playing field, but the ego's still there. And we still got to feel like that man, and that's why it comes out in certain ways, in certain fashions when it comes to certain topics. Because of the ego. And I think we're being stroked by, we want this purity. We want something that has been untouched. We want to be the one that conquered this and no one else did. Versus in modern day, that's not important. I want a lifelong partner. I want somebody who fucking matches me, vibes with me, has the same energy. Whatever you did before me, I don't give a fuck. Where are you at right now? Because I fuck with you. I fuck with you right now. You might have found Jesus. You might have got off of drugs. You might have been a criminal. Whatever the fuck it is, I don't care about your past. We're talking about body count. I know that. But think about it. It's just past. I fuck with you now. You're a changed person. This is where you're at. This is where your heart is at, your energy, your love, your everything. That's what I fuck with. So I think when we try our best to put more emphasis, more thought into that, we'll care less about a past. And that carries us far into the man and body counts with women. So I know I went around the park with that, but yeah, I get it. We all care about body count. We don't want to use car if we can get a new car. I get that. But because I've been in those shoes and I never want somebody to judge me from my past in so many different ways because I know who I am and what I present. I know my body count and all that bullshit. How dare I do that to somebody else when I know that's the last thing you should do to me?
I get you. It's tough. It's a very. I wish I was as mature enough to look at it that way and say and put my feelings inside and say doesn't matter if my girl slept with 30 guys. I love her and 30 experiences with other guys that maybe they were better, bigger, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. I wish I could put that aside and just look at it as how you just kind of presented it, but I'm afraid I'm not there yet, or I just don't feel that way.
And by the way, let me clarify. I'm not trying to research it from my significant other. Let's make that clear. I'm not trying to ask her, hey, spill all the beans. Tell me your real body count. I don't care if it's a fucking 200. Just tell me. No, what I'm saying is I'm not paying mind to it.
I get you.
That's what I'm saying. If it's somebody that you need those numbers, you need to know that information. Then, all right, then I don't care for it. If we got this far and that vibe seems legit and everything seems really, really legit and good and genuine and real, that's irrelevant to me right now. That's all.
But also forgive me because it's harder. Like we're 30 now, but let's say if I met my girl when I was 27. But if you're in your early 20s, the whole body count thing it's a more realistic conversation to have than, not for anything, you're a little bit older. You're not going to ask a 40, like you're in your, you 40, 41?
46.
Let's say 46. If you date girls that are, I don't know, let's say 40 years old. You're not going to ask her you're not going to ask her what her body count is, dude. Like, it's different. You can ask a 22-year-old, potentially, but you can't ask a 42-year-old. Like, it's just a different... it doesn't make sense. It's just a different playing field.
No, yeah, I get what you're on that. And that's why, again, not to shit on them, but that's why...
So for you, it's natural that you feel this way because you're fucking 46 years old. Of course you're not going to you shouldn't care about body count. Certainly not if you're dating within your age group, and we can talk about that too. But if you're dating girls within your age range, whatever, you're really going to talk to a 40-year-old, hey, how many guys have you been with? I feel like that's a crazy question to ask.
Right. So you think it's more relatable? It makes more sense to inquire about that at a younger age.
If I'm 19 years old, it's a more relatable question to ask.
I get that, but let's...
Or no? Am I wrong?
No, of course, but let's not give those motherfuckers that much credit. Fuck a 19-year-old. Let them figure that on your own. Let's ask you. Yeah, you're 30 now. Even if you backed it up a few years... if that's what you're digging for, cool. And I get you're trying to say, all right, you want to know this about a young girl. Really? Are these, I'm going to stop saying sorry. Aren't these young bitches just hoeing it out in their 20s?
Yeah.
Isn't that whole phase? Right? Everybody hears about it. Everybody talks about it. That's a hot topic. And then you got girls trying to say, oh, I didn't go through that whole phase. Whoa, damn, every girl you fucking were best friends with did. That's crazy. You were that one, huh? Okay, cool.
That's funny that you say that.
Well, because it's so accurate, But anyhow, eventually those 20-year-old guys who are trying to find out all this research and find out this information, they eventually turn 30 and they eventually hit 30, mid-30s and 40, and guess what? They're still inquiring about that shit with the same women. Bro, you were there? What do you think? You found that fucking needle in the haystack? Come on now. No, you remember all these girls that you heard about and talked about in the whole phase and this and that. Now you're just willing to overlook it.
Damn.
Nah, that's all you wanted to do. You wanted to realize, oh shit, that's right. Why am I putting so much emphasis in that? Everybody hold it out. If you had enough good looks, if you hung around the right people, if you weren't locked up in a relationship, everybody hold it out. Everybody got their rocks off.
Think about it. You don't think your girl, you had a wild face. Did you ever think about, your girl having, a crazy time?
I mean, I've known her enough. She had a crazy time. Not as crazy as mine. Not that it was a contest. But...
Whoa.
No.
You're right, though. You are right. But guess what? That goes back to you, too.
No, but I do know. But I do know because I was at least around there. I know the environment. So... to a certain degree, I know more or less what happened. You, on the other hand, una caja sorpresa. That's a box of surprises. You don't know what the fuck is in there.
And it goes to what you were saying. It's you ask a girl, oh no, I was a good girl. I didn't have a whole face. You could ask 100 girls, and every girl would say, oh, I didn't have a whole face.
I was the one out of my friends.
Yeah, a needle in the haystack is what you were saying. So none of your hoes were hoes? I don't know. So that's a good.
But that also happens when you date 30 plus, where you have these women who will like, oh yeah, I did have this past. But I think that's why guys they'll be like, oh no, the younger, like when they're like 20 or 21 or
It goes to the purity. Like, why do guys gravitate to younger women? Going to ask, maybe we could ask you, because not for anything, you're a little bit older.
If you mention that again, I'll send you. I'll cash app you. I'll cash app you. Don't worry about it.
No, I mean,
No. That shit doesn't bother me at all. I said that as a joke, Marvin. Come on, man.
but tell us, like, what's the age range that you're like gravitating towards?
So, me personally, right? I'm very active, pretty fit. My energy's high. All that good stuff. The part that attracts me to a younger girl, not young girls, to a younger girl, younger woman is better situated. And when I say younger, what am I talking about? Probably mid-30s up into the high 30s. Low 30s, I mean, it's possible, yeah, but that energy level that they have is different from your average mid-40 woman. But the reason being, most likely, is because the mid-40 range woman has kids, is divorced, just been through the ringer, And let's just say what it is. If you're not into fitness, it doesn't matter what age you are. You're going to be a slower, less energetic individual. So this is why, more than the age range, I gravitate to habits, energy levels, things of that nature. And it rarely goes past the mid-30s. The youth part, I think when you get a certain age, this is going to ruin me having any chances with younger girls, but it's almost like a turnoff. When they're too young. It's a turnoff, like big time. Like when I talk to a lot of the homies, 30 and above, it's like, and it just sounds so derogative. It just sounds bad, but it is what it is. It's just like, hey, young girl, if you're not down to just hook up, like, don't even waste my time. There's no conversation there. There's no connection there. There's nothing there. It's the rarest thing.
But do you think there's nothing there because you don't give it a chance because she's so young? Or is there nothing there because you actually tried? Like, was it a...
Well, when I'm saying that, first of all, I was referring to the average guy. I don't even entertain those girls. But when these homies, when guys talk about this in my age bracket, a little bit less, whatever... They're talking, most of them is with a chance. They didn't just, I'm not talking about you just meet a random young girl out and about, because most older guys aren't out and about like that. Probably gym, probably some mutual grounds. Yeah, work is very, I want to meet people who do this supermarket shit, dog. I've never met somebody who's pulled that off, even though I hear like that's a thing, especially for older people. And I'm like, talk to me, bro. When did this happen to you? And what does she look like and whatever? Supermarket.
Give me a case study.
Yeah, exactly. I did a case study, yes.
But not for anything. If you go to, I used to go to Whole Foods a lot. And if you would go to Whole Foods, you would see some really attractive women. I just don't know how you could spark up a conversation.
That's what he's saying.
Right. That's right. It's like,
you know what? But I've never been an aggressive guy neither, man. My brother, man, that motherfucker used to shoot at anything. Not at anything, but I'm saying he was just one of those guys. But anyhow, with that said, I just think that the age range makes a difference as to, what you're willing to deal with, what are you attracted to. Okay, look, I can't speak for them, but this is a common thing, right? Younger girls, once they hit a certain age in their bracket, whatever that is, are no longer attracted to young guys. They get attracted to older guys. Why is that? Okay, because guys take a longer time to mature, right? Women hit a higher level of maturity early in their age. I think it's between 25. When they hit 25, they're like mature at like a 30-something year level. Guys got to go to like 35 to be at that same maturity level. Don't quote me on all that, but I know it's...
Oh, yeah, but something like that.
So when these younger girls are like, you know what, these young motherfuckers, they ain't worth the fuck. They're just trying to hook up. They're bums. They don't got no money. They don't give me roses. They don't have a house. They share a crib with 4 people. Whatever it is, it starts turning them off. Now they start reaching for the older guy, right? Because a little bit more grounding, a little bit more established, a little bit more maturity, a little bit more understanding, better conversation. Even if they're doing it just to get in the pants, they know to stay quiet, let the girl talk, blah, 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 blah. All that, I can't talk for them. I'm just imagining this. Now flip that script. You're the older guy and flip it to the younger girl. It's the same thing. It's like, oh, the conversation is, like, what the fuck can I talk to her about? Like, the grounds are very minimum, and it's just, the window is very different. It's more sexual, or it's like, this is not worth the time.
Well, no, Dre, similarly, the guy from our gym. So he's 40?
I think so.
Whatever. I think he just turned 40. He looks great. But he said something similar. And I actually had a conversation with him at the gym the other day where I'm like, dude, not for nothing, bro. Like, you're 40. You got 2 kids. Like, how is dating for you now? And he's telling me, like, oh, it's different for him because right now he's just enjoying. He's like you, like still young, energetic, healthy, fit. So his energy is there where he thinks like, yeah, like he can see dating younger because he hangs out with younger people. But obviously he doesn't like going too young because too young is almost like, I got nothing here with them, I think those who care about that are just people who want the arm candy to show that they can get someone like that, but they don't really want to be with someone. I think you're more grounded in the sense like, man, if I do find someone, I want them to actually fucking like me. Similarly to what he was saying too. Like he's like in the same thing. Like he goes, oh, I have kids. Like I'd have to date someone who either doesn't want kids, so they'll probably either be a little bit older who already has kids, or that they don't want kids. But then even having kids, he says that if he's dating someone and he finds out that, like, if he finds someone and they have kids, that he won't even fuck with them.
That's fucked up because he has.
I said that, but he goes, dude, I get it. He goes, I know it's fucked up.
But you know what? I just saw a podcast where they talked about that, right? Really? And I was almost taken back like Marvin just was. But then I heard Buddy what he said, and I was like, oh, say less. He's like, well, you just said it too. I know how fucking hard it is to have kids. I got 2 of my own. I'm not trying to sign up for another one. That's it. If you got a kid, I don't want to go for us to mesh our kids and to go through this fucking gauntlet of everything involved. Like, do I really want to do that?
I could see that. I could see that could be like a red line.
I've gotten to a point. Again, I love you guys, but this podcast is gonna ruin my single life career. I've gotten to the point where I started thinking, okay, I'm 100% willing to date a woman with a kid or kids. I am, of course, I am.
You don't think you feel like that because you don't have any kids?
No, not at all. Because the truth is, I'd rather not have any fucking nothing at all. And I'd rather date a woman who doesn't have kids or her kids are old enough and they moved out. Like no, I don't want no headaches. I don't want no over responsibilities. No, I don't. Period. But I'm willing to accept to a certain extent, right? So what's that certain extent? Well, damn, every year I start thinking about it more, and I'm like, hey, man, if that kid's under 10,
that's a no.
That's a whole lot thing to sign up for right there. Because see, here we're the fans who want to fire at me, and please drop your comments. The fans who want to fire at me and be like, oh, he's just this, he's just that. No. I'm doing the math. Okay? 10 years old. I meet you. Let's say you're 35. Boom, perfect. Right at that mid-range, got enough energy, got it, this, that, whatever. All right, you got a 10-year-old. Okay. Cool with that. Sounds 10. 10 sounds good. But this is where my math starts happening. When kids become teenagers, fuck them kids, okay? Just remember that. Quote it. Say it again. When kids become teenagers, they're punk-ass teenagers and it's fucking fuck them kids. Quick, easy, and fast in a hurry. And I got a sweet niece that I love to death. And the minute she became 13, man, shit started changing. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? This girl has been an angel up until this. And then shit was just like, what the fuck is going on? Because it's you versus the world. These kids are being influenced by other kids. Anyhow, so I start putting that math in my head. Okay, wait a minute. I'm 46. She's 35. Kid's 10. Kid's going to be a teenager in 3 years. I'm going to be 49 in 3 years. She's going to be 30. And it just keeps going and keeps going. You got to remember, right? A mom is going to be a mom. And shout out to all the moms in the world, man, especially single moms and moms who have a, tough tough outing with the dad. The mom is always going to be first. A mom's going to always be a mom. And if you're the boyfriend, you're not even the husband, you're not even none of that yet. This is a steep hill. This is a steep hill because not only are you winning the mom over, if all's going well, you got to win the kid over. If you don't win the kid over, this shit gets a little bit awkward. Now, some moms might be like, hey, I get it, man. Kids are tough. You don't got to win my kid over. Don't worry, I'm with you. Sounds good. But the minute this motherfucking turns on me at 13, fuck them kids level, now it's like, hey, we've been together for 3 years. Kid's been great with me up until now. I want to punch him in the jaw as of lately. Am I allowed to say anything to him?
We talked about this. Remember the reprimanding?
So it just changes levels, and that's where I'm thinking like that. And again, a lesser thinker would be like, "Oh, you're overthinking it. All right, cool. You're the motherfucker who sets yourself up, and you're like, oh shit, what did I get myself into?" I'm trying to think everything in consideration. So now I'm literally, and I know I catch myself doing it. Fuck, dude. Depending on how old the kid is, I start thinking, oh, take that consideration, put that in the math. Do you wanna roll the dice with this one? Do you want to roll the dice with this one?
It's tough because I mean, obviously I'm not in the dating market, haven't been for a long time, but you see a lot of single moms out there. Like most women, especially our age, how many women do you know that are in their 30s, early 30s, mid 30s, that have no kids, have not been married? It's very slim. Like most girls that I know that are they have kids, at least one.
But didn't you say that you were obviously in a relationship, but after
Yeah, I'm more open to it. I see what he's saying. It's like when they become teens, it's like, fuck. Because they're cute when they're like 8 years old or 7 or 9 or whatever. But then they're 13, 14, they start having their hormonal spike and all, et cetera, and all that stuff. It's like, fuck.
I'm just putting it into the equation.
I get you. Which you don't really normally think about. Well, normally you don't think about that stuff.
Whatever you're going to approach, right? You're thinking about getting a new job. Chris, you just made that transition not too long ago, right? You're going to put things in perspective. All right. They're going to pay me more. Excellent. But I'm going to work crazy hours. How are those crazy hours going to affect my life? Because the value of life has a certain, decimal there, right? That you want to. So you start, can I grow with this company? Can I this? Can I that? You put all that perspective. Nothing's different from any type of
if
relationship.
anything, yeah, I think you should be treating relationships that way and thinking that way as well. Very good point.
Very well said. I never even thought about that. But
I understand it's also difficult for a woman to divide with that because she's so connected, and she's connected in ways that men can never imagine because it's literally that.
do you feel like society looks at like single moms, or they treat single moms more harshly than single dads? Like, think about
No, treat them hard.
Wait. What do you mean?
No, harshly is against the dads.
no more harshly in terms of like how we project like dating.
Oh,
Yeah, how we see them.
Oh no! If anything, I think single dads probably have a pretty good value.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because women almost see that as like, wow, like I can now like feed into this. I'm almost like gonna see what it's like to raise a child, and I can like, because I think most women, they already have that nurturing kind of side to them, where like whether there's nieces, like I look at my girlfriend where she has a bunch of nieces and nephews, like I don't know if she's ready for a kid. I think that's what the new puppy is kind of like slowly, kind of training her for it. But she at least likes the nieces and nephews. Like she's always like around them and things like that. So I think like when a girl or a woman goes into someone who already has children, it's almost like I'm kind of just getting into the role that I'm meant for, And I can now just kind of do what I feel like most women are naturally going to be perfect for, which is, the nurturing side. And it's almost like a little trial, I guess you can say. But at the end of the day, you're also dating into someone who has children. It's also a different type of person that they are as well. So you're dating to someone who, has responsibilities, who knows how to get shit in order, who has to raise two children.
Now watch. Remember earlier when I spoke about showing your cards, right? Being transparent. I think that's the best approach. So imagine, right? You're like, we were talking about, hey, first date, second date, when do you talk about sex or whatever, all that shit? When do you spill the beans, right? You have a kid. I think everybody should. That's one of the first disclosures, even before you get to the first date. That shit comes out. It should be.
Casey Chops.
It should be on your dating app. It should be on your fucking social media, whatever. Especially if you're that, unless you're trying to keep that not a secret, but you know. So with that said, isn't that part of that transparency thing that helps the next individual know what they're getting into?
100%.
That's why I meant, you know, by referring to the kinkiness or whatever, you know, let's get this out the way. This is what I'm into. A kid's the same thing. Hey, I know I'm just 26 and we ain't even slept in bed and I don't even got to tell you what kind of kinks I'm into. Shaboom, I got a kid. If you're even thinking about anything serious for me, I got a kid. That's what I meant by transparency and all that type of stuff. That's why it's great to just put that right there on the line. And then also whether or not you want to have a kid or are down for a kid.
Yeah, but don't you think that it puts a little bit of prejudice on, let's say, like the woman who has a child if she were to disclose that from the get? Because now maybe they are a catch. Maybe they are a great woman, and it's a woman that you vibe with, right? We were talking about vibe, and I vibe with you, you know? I ain't got 400 bodies. I only got 4, but I got Junior with me.
Yeah, but if I say I don't want to date somebody who has kids, I gotta know before. So it's not
But how do you know you don't want to date someone with kids?
It doesn't. If I say I don't want to,
How do you know though?
I don't want to. I don't want to date with. I don't want to deal with the fucking baby daddy that's gonna be.
Maybe it's not like that.
I don't give a fuck. But it's my prerogative to dictate who I want to date.
Yeah, you know, you talking about rolling the dice.
And I get where he's coming from.
And I get it too.
I need to be aware of it before I go on a date with you.
You got to draw a line somewhere. You know, you have to.
Because you can make the argument for any specific things. Like, oh, you're prejudiced with my height. I can't know how tall you are because I might not say I want to date you if you're under, I don't know, 5'6". Oh, maybe you're the most amazing person, but you're 5'4". Well, you know what? That's my line, 5'6". I don't want to date anybody shorter than that. Same thing with the kids. I don't want to date you and your fuck-ass kids. You know, fuck your kids. I'm just saying.
Don't be so personal. Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. Listen, I'm more open to dating someone who has kids. We've had some amazing, you know, moms on the show who have kids.
Changes perspective.
Changed my perspective a little bit.
I remember watching the podcast. I remember hearing all that.
Fortunately for you're loyal watcher. I appreciate you tuning in. But at this point, fortunately, I'm with somebody obviously, and we don't have kids, and so I don't anticipate on dating anybody who has kids that aren't mine. But I'm just saying, I don't think it's the end of the world of dating somebody who has kids.
And I don't think so neither. I don't. What I'm making clear is that's something that I think I'm suggesting it to people. You need to put all the variables into your equation of, should I take this step in this direction?
But I think
it just applies to every big decision you make in life. Does it not, fellas? Does it not? Do you not put enough thought into it? Why does it become different? Why does it become so fucking taboo when it's about a relationship? Why are you putting so much thought into it? Why don't you just go with the flow? But you love me, don't you? If I'm a great girl, why does it make a difference that I'm not going anywhere in my career and I have a kid? What the fuck you mean? Because everything is all part of the equation. It doesn't make sense if I'm investing all my time and effort into this.
It's two people, you know. Like you also have to think about yourself as well, and she should also think about you and the position that she's putting you in, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Wanted to ask you guys, do you guys believe in, or better yet, let me ask you guys, what's the youngest y'all would date?
At this current stage in my life, I'm 31, 30. I'm 30. The youngest I would go for is maybe 25. Maybe.
25, 24. You had said 30, 35. Is that about accurate?
Yeah, if I'm him, just so I don't shoot myself in the foot. I might go a few years under 35. If
30, 35.
What about 20, 22?
No, I'm not touching.
So you guys know? Have you heard of the saying of divide the age in half and add 7? Like divide your age in half and then add 7. That's the lowest that you would date.
So 22 for us.
You would be 30.
That's the lowest I would date?
Half your age. You're 46.
Right.
23 is half your age. Plus 7 is 30.
Okay. So is that suggested or is that just like an accurate thing that happened?
Oh, so you're how old? 30. 15 plus 7. 22?
22.
Would you date a 22-year-old? That'd be a stretch. I'm 31, 22 and a half. That'll be a stretch.
That would be a huge stretch. Unless they must have been raised in a different country.
30 for you makes sense.
Yeah, I think that number is probably more accurate on the older guys, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier, because I wonder where you got that from, but it kind of makes sense. It just probably doesn't apply on the younger.
No,
I mean, it's not that far. It's a bit of a stretch for me.
it's way of a stretch.
22 is young.
So if you're 28, you would date what, a 21-year-old? No,
14 plus 21 at 28. You think so?
28, 21, feasible.
The thing is this though. See, what was hard to imagine or to remember is that when you were 28, your mind was somewhere different. And then 21 would probably would have made sense to you. 18, 19, 20 probably didn't, but 21, 22 would have made sense.
But think of like when you're 70, 35 plus 7. You're 7 years old dating a 42-year-old. No, I think when you get older, it's also fucked.
There's a
There's a sweet spot.
you're in the sweet spot.
You're in the sweet spot. You are in the
When you get it depends on what you guys are referring to, but the fact that you said that 70 something, if you're that old and you can, I don't care how young, if you can get young, just do your thing, bro.
We've talked about that
You at the end of your life, what are you having fun here? What the fuck?
because now I'm thinking like I'm attracted to like older women, and I told you this, and you're like now because you're 30, but when you're 40 or 50, you're not gonna be attracted to like a 50 or 40-year-old woman. You're not gonna be attracted to a 60-year-old woman. Like now I'm 30. There's really, really good looking like 40-year-olds. But when I'm 40, am I gonna be attracted to 50-year-olds?
So you know what? That's a really good point, and you're right. More than likely not. But unless they were such a rare oddity, which would be whatever attracts you to a female now in an older version. That's all it would be. What was that? What was that?
There's a breaking point somewhere, dude.
What's the cap? Do you know the cap?
It's like where the seesaw just goes the other way, dude.
If I'm like 46, 45, it goes down.
Here's some funny shit, right? And I've never been into anything older than me. Listen, here how this snuck up on me.
Yo, wait, hold on. Before you say that, you attracted to older women?
What are we talking about? Older than my age?
Yeah, older than you.
No.
No.
So 46 is the cutoff.
But watch this though. Watch how this snuck up on me. So I forgot who posted it, but it was a quick picture of, I couldn't even tell she was an older lady because the hair was white, but it was like on that getting white phase, and it said, "Man, somebody better get their grandma off this boat." And when you fucking, because it was a storyline, you had to push your finger on it and pause that shit. So I had to come back, and I was like, wait a minute, I read grandma. I came back, and I'm like, grandma, and I pause it, and I look at it. I'm like, oh shit, this bitch is about 65. You can see the wrinkles, you can see the white hair, but then she was slim with implants, abs, not abs, but a good stomach. She was a woman who took care of herself. And I immediately thought, oh my God, is there something wrong with me? Because I would knock this grandma's block off. That's what came to my mind. And is there something wrong with me? No. The age doesn't matter. The way she looks is fucking phenomenal. If I gave enough of concentration to her wrinkles and her forehead and whatever, then I can see the age. But that body?
But how many 60?
Exactly. Super rare.
You know what I mean? But then how many 20, 25-year-olds you see like that? Looking good, they dress nice, a nice book. See what I mean? So the pool's a lot. What you doing over there, dude?
I was looking at, are you guys familiar with, what is it, Salma Hayek?
Salma Hayek, yeah, the Mexican.
57. Tell me no. But that's like a 1 in a million.
That's like that's the 60-year-old on the boat, whatever.
Right. Exactly. No, so just give her another 6 years, and you can just see her with gray hair looking almost the same.
Look at Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez is, I think, older than her.
It's a very rare speck of woman.
So to say generally, no, not attracted to older woman. But I get the young thing. I get it because, the this or that. Yeah, I just start connecting with the whole. What hits me right away is there's no conversation there. There's just like I get more turned on by mental than I do physical. I mean, hypothetically, yes, physical does it. Physical brings me there, but then mental takes over.
But do you feel like women have higher? Because I think earlier you had said that. I feel like I think you said women have it harder, or it's harder for women. Do you feel like men, in a sense, have it a little bit easier because you don't have that pressure? You look great, and as you get older, you probably still you don't lose any value
When you get older,
yeah. Same with Dre. He's 40, 2 kids, but you don't look at him any different. But there's some woman maybe at same place, same gym, that have 2 kids, and then the 30s, they're like, oh shit, you fucking.
so without a doubt, it turns in our favor as we get older.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, it does. It does for men. It does. Yes, it does.
Because, well, yeah. So I mean, we have like an uphill battle where we have to prove ourselves. We have to earn our value. You know, we have to bring something to the table, arguably.
But I feel like our best years are still like ahead, and for like
It's crazy to think that, right?
like in 10 years we'll be 40, but I feel like we'll be fucking.
We think about right now and like the struggles that we have and how like fuck that we got to keep grinding and shit, which I guess is good. That's what's gonna get us there, you know. But it's just it's hard because we don't know what's coming. We just have to blindly continue like
Take care of ourselves.
doing these stretching exercises in the way that we do.
But it's not. But it's also not that blind. If you get the right guidance, it all may like the dudes, the doctors that I follow on the gurus that I follow on YouTube.
Huberman.
Joe Rogan, ivermectin.
Yeah, well, are you talking shit about him? Okay, all right. So and then,
Tattooed on his chest.
I wonder if I can hit you in the elbow.
I almost wore that shirt, by the way, with Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan experience.
But these people, you know, they're the ones who are guiding us into that next level. When you see them, you're like, damn, this motherfucker's 65. He looks great. This guy's this guy's that. It's don't you want to be there? Don't you want to be more healthy? You know, isn't that? I don't understand when people make the decisions they do on that YOLO tip. I get the youthful, you know, influences. I get the social media influence. We're in a different era. Even you guys who are still young, the era coming up is on a different era than what you guys are on. But the foundation is you can't live in no shape or form happily if you don't have the energy to do it. So in some shape or form, you gotta find that middle level.
Yeah, I think it's a different mindset, and I think now because we have the access to this information, where we have, well, us especially, well, you too, because we're always thinking of like the future and like how can we always be better every single day. We were talking about it outside, you know, but not everyone has that mentality. We all just think in the moment, and we all think of, well, what am I doing right now, and let me just live for today. When there's, you know, you have to bet on the future. And so in order to bet on the future, it requires making the right decisions today, exercising today, eating healthy today, getting enough sun today, sleeping enough hours today. All that matters for us to then, when we're older, for us to have that kind of value that you say that we would have as we get older. But if we don't do that, then we'll just be like the rest of these miserable fucks who don't care about them.
Piece of shit. Yeah.
Exactly. But I think that It's crazy that we say that because we're so connected like with social media and like how we see and how we're so exposed to things, and we always like compare ourselves sometimes to like, oh man, like what are they doing? How can we do better? Whatever. And this guy's doing this, whatever. And I feel like if we continue on this path, like we've been talking, I think that in the next 10 years, when we're 40, 41, whatever, we're gonna be. Thank you, sir. When we're 40, 41, we're gonna be in like a whole different level. Like we're gonna be those guys that we looked up to when we were 30, looking on Instagram like, man, I wish I was like this guy. Or like a Wes who was like, dude, you're still super active, 46 years old. In 10 years, I'll be 41. I hope I'm as active. Honestly, you know what I mean? But at least we have that like the control to do that now. We were talking about that with Adrian Mesa, the guy before, where it's like, how can we motivate the people of today to make these choices blindly to bet on the future? Because like everyone's just focusing on right now and like, oh,
I think you guys are playing your role.
We are.
If you go any extra, in my opinion, you're wasting good energy. You guys are playing your role, staying in your lane, and influencing the world the way they want to choose to accept that. Because if you go too extra, it's like, man, I start thinking like, dude, you got to let that motherfucker run into the wall. You got to, you have to, majority of people, you got to let them crash and burn and they'll figure it out on their own. You can just drop a few seeds. Your podcast does that. You guys are playing your role. You're interviewing the right people. You're entertaining great conversations, and you're open-minded about shit. That's playing your role. When you go extra, a lot of times, in my opinion, you're gonna waste a lot of energy. It's not gonna go.
So then, what do you think? You think that there needs to be more of this? Then I don't think that's the answer. I think we need to find a way to attract those who don't.
You said that's the answer. Like, okay, so what's the real question? What's the problem that we're trying to solve? I don't think there's any definitive answer to anything. But what are you referring to?
Well, so when we talked with Adrian, Dr. Massa before, it was so he was really big on he's a therapist. He's a psychiatric nurse practitioner. So essentially he's, he's a nurse, but practitioner in the sense where, he can administer drugs and things like that. But he also uses therapy and kind of get into like the psychiatric side of like how to really understand mental health in his patients and how to kind of understand the problems and then bring them to a solution. So we find that he also takes the approach of like health, nutrition, exercising, building a community. But he was also talking about how not back then, like during COVID, when COVID, everything shut down and we were kind of pulled away from interaction and everything was, there was nothing. So then we imagine even kids who didn't go to school, they were doing everything virtually. They didn't have the interactions anymore. And with convenience, now with work, remote working, and even Instacart, DoorDash, like we don't even have to go out to get our groceries. Everything has just made it so comfortable to stay. And then we've learned like developmental, how negatively it's impacting of like how people develop their minds and their social skills. Now, instead, for example, you'll go anywhere and if people don't want to like talk to people, what do? They're just on their phones scrolling on something. So clearly that's the problem. And it's how can we then show people like, hey, if you continue down that path, it's really going to negatively impact you versus if you take a more active, like I know it's not fun for everyone to exercise, but if you find a groove for you, you'll start feeling better. That's how we want to motivate people to live better lives. What would be the answer to then convince those who aren't convinced, hey, we have to get more active?
As many conversations you guys have had with so many people amongst yourselves, and again, both of you guys are very intelligent, do you really feel like there's a utopic, resolution? Do you feel like we will get there? It's not about can we get there. It's not about is it possible. It's always possible, Like I'm a skilled fighter. Both of you guys have a chance of knocking me out because you have a puncher's chance, even no matter how much martial arts I've been doing, right? So we know that exists. But do you guys genuinely think, judging society where it's at, everything that's going on, this whole fucking he, she, they, them, whatever, and every other thing behind everything that's going on? Do you feel like that's attainable? Like we can get there?
No, but I guess that's why I bring up the question as to like what can be done in order to, I'm not saying convince everybody, but maybe, because for example, me, I care about fitness and I care about health, I care about community. So it's easy for me to be convinced. But maybe those that are either on the fence or those that are like, fuck, I'm unhappy and I don't know what to do. All right, motherfucker, well, I need to show you why this is the solution. And I feel like if we were able to find that, anyone who's currently maybe lost or maybe not sure what to do with their lives or maybe just stuck in a rut, it's like, well, maybe I can turn to this. It's like, how do we convert that? How do we solve that?
I think unfortunately, and I know it's way deeper than what we want to go into, I think religious beliefs have too much of an influence on these type of decisions and routes that we go in life. And because there's so many different religious beliefs and everybody holds it so dear, so hard to open up to someone else's belief, we're all stuck in our ways, and those ways umbrella other ways, and then that's why you have 160 something branches of Christianity, and you have this, and you have Judaism, and it's just like, all right, well, listen, I don't completely agree, but that's what I grew up to, so that's what I'm gonna, because I don't want to get disowned, and that's what's always gonna keep us separated in so many approaches as to how do we fix this, this thing. Look at what we're going through right now with the I feel like women versus men is so prevalent right now. It's ugly. I think it's
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
yeah, and if your fans would go back to our past 2 podcasts on your show and my 3 podcasts on my show, I never want to come off as anything like stirring shit up, men versus women, this and that. I hate that. I want utopia. I want us to be more understanding about each other and all that stuff. And it doesn't happen enough. And I think we're actually at our worst. I actually think that it's so, everybody's got their guards up. It's men are supposed to do that. Okay, for instance, the list that we went down. That's the first time in our era, 30 years, 46 years, that this popped up, right? Obviously, social media amps it up in many different levels, but it doesn't matter. Social media has been out strong enough for a good while now, and we've never seen this. This list came out of nowhere, right? The rap game has a huge influence on society. Everything that goes out there in this celebrity-filled world trickles on, it drips into social media, and then of course you're lame if you don't know what's going on. You're lame if you don't try to buy what's hip, what's hot, what's this, what's that. So there's a huge influence there, and when you put all that in perspective, it's a scary situation. It's like, well, where are we going? Like, what?
I'm glad you brought it out, and you were looking like a little bit like, why is he bringing this up? Because when about the rap thing, the culture, it's like, a lot of people follow these celebrities, these influencers, and they see that very limited and very, very exclusive lifestyle. The guy buying this and this and this, it's 1% of people. And then they expect their fucking partner to buy them this. And it's like, it's just not attainable. 50, 100 years ago, a woman would be pleased if the guy would take her to a fucking shop down the street. But now, because of social media, you see these rappers and celebrities, which is what you were saying. They see them people going flown out and this and that. And it's like, well, my guy is not doing this. My guy is only taking me to fucking Cheesecake Factory. And that's not acceptable because the fucking person that I'm following, who is a celebrity, she's going to X, Y, and Z. So I need to be going to X, Y, and Z. It's just not realistic. Sorry.
It's the same thing. I saw a video. I was on Reels just scrolling on Instagram, and he was a male model, it was a fashion model, and he was fit. Like, he was nothing crazy, but you could tell, he had a decent physique. And he goes, man, it's so crazy how social media has literally brainwashed so many guys specifically of what the perfect physique or what a nice physique should be. Because he then compares, have you seen Spider-Man 1, like with Tobey Maguire, the first Spider-Man?
I've seen them all, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember, like, before when he was a regular guy, he was a nerd, whatever, but then he gets bit by the spider and he looks at himself in the mirror and, like, he looks kind of like, and he brings it up. He goes, when I saw that when I was younger, I looked at him, I'm like, damn, like, he looks good. Like, he looks strong. And I remember even myself, he was saying that. And I'm like, dude, when I was, like younger, watching that movie and I saw Tobey Maguire when he took his shirt off, I'm like, dude, like, this guy he looks great. Like, he looks fit. Now I see him and I'm like, this guy looks like a regular schmuck, like just like a regular guy. And it's crazy because, like, social media has just, like, upped everything. It's such a shame because so on social media, it went from just like normal, like what we would see as, well, this is enough, to now we look at these like everything on social media, how it has to be so much more. So what used to be like, oh, normal fit guy, that he looks good, it's almost like, oh, this guy looks like a scrub. We look at now like the next best thing.
Like, it's crazy, like the list, the movies. We all said it's not a great at first date idea. But, like, you want to tell me that 50 years ago, if a guy would ask a girl, like, hey, you want to go to the movies with me? They wouldn't be, like, exhilarated to go. Of course they would be. Because fucking they didn't notice there was a fucking list on TikTok that would say you shouldn't go to fucking this date as a first date. It's like, social media, as great as it has been, it's also been a disadvantage for so many people. It's just desensitized us to, like, genuine experience.
And that's not even considering all, like, the filters and shit, that, like, how fake people look when they're, like, recording selfies and all these things. It's like it completely transforms what you look like. Like, now that's what you're putting out to the world, that it's not even you.
I think one of the most accurate things that everything you guys said is completely accurate. One of the factors that I think play a bigger role is these people on social media, they've never been used to this amount of attention. They've never, before social media, You couldn't walk down the street, walk down the plaza, the strip, the club, the whatever, the Ocean Boulevard, and get 200 likes. You couldn't get 200 dudes to look at you and be like, damn. You couldn't get 200 chicks to look at you, and 200 is a small number. On social media, you get this sense of like, oh man, look at this, People like me.
Instant gratification.
Comments are coming. Fire, hard eyes, muscle arms, this and that. And it feels good. I'm getting attention. I'm not used to this type of attention unless you're, somebody who's been on that spotlight, the captain of the team, the whatever, the star player. This gets addictive, right? But you battle it. You got a good heart. You're level. You got good parents. You got good upbringing. You're not your average person, but you don't realize what addiction really is. And that addiction just starts taking over. And it's like, man, nothing nowadays through my average life gives me that high like I get when I post at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday and I get 300 likes and 20 comments. No one's ever told me, whatever the fuck this and that. And I'm not talking about females. I mean both, male, female. So now you have what I call a TikTok world. Get my attention within 3 seconds and hold it. If not, you're not worth my time. Because that's, me as a coach, whoever doesn't know me, I'm a mixed martial arts coach. One of the biggest rule of thumbs that I always preach about is repetition is everything. Repetition. You want to get good at something, you better repeat that motherfucker 1,000 times. You want to break a bad habit, you better do the opposite of it 1,000 times. Repetition. You can throw the perfect punch on the first attempt, but you don't own that. You don't own it until you've done it 1,000 times. Then it just becomes like breathing. It just becomes like putting your hand on a hot furnace, whatever it is, right? So it's all about repetition. If repetitiously you get used to all these likes, all this attention, all this whatever, the last thing you want to do is go to the opposite of that because that's what gets you going. So this is what's causing a lot of issues, not in the world from a with the war and all that crazy shit, but on a personal level with people and how they are and who they think they are and why they won't entertain genuine friendships, relationships, co-workership, is because the high comes when they fucking post something and they get the feedback. So it's like, damn, man, it's crazy how we as a society, as a human race, we want to keep advancing through technology, right? But then it just fucking backfires and bites us in the ass.
Yeah, it's almost like we use social media to try to get connected to so many people, yet we disconnect so much in order to focus on our phones. And, it's funny because I was talking to Marvin and I'm like, man, how can we grow the podcast? How can we make it bigger? And I told them, I'm like, dude, I think we need to focus on building a personal brand. Because we were talking about it outside, how you're like, man, if they're going to watch your podcast, you want them to watch it for you. You guys are the stars of the show. But I feel like where we kind of fall a little short is we have the page, we have the brand of the Coffee Breakup, but we talk about this stuff. But then outside of that, it's like, well, who are these guys? I see them on the page. I see them post their stuff, and they got some viral stuff. But outside of that, I don't really know them. So when I was talking to Marvin, I'm like, man, I think we need to focus on personal brands, because then if we build a personal brand and then they fall in love with us, and then they don't give a fuck what we talk about because they just want to see us talk. And I think that that's the next step for us. But I find myself sometimes when I'm thinking about, like, man, I gotta edit a video, or I gotta record myself to do something, and I'm like, man, like, if I do, like, I have an option right now. Like, do I want to spend some time with my girl, or do I want to try to perfect recording this video and then editing this video and stuff like that? And I live with my girl, so maybe it's a little different for you because you have a little bit more free time here. But like when I'm there with her, and she's a photographer, so she edits some, like most days she'll just stay there editing. So like she's there, So then I think sometimes I'm like, if I start recording this, I might spend the rest, like the next 3 hours, just trying to get the right wording, to get the right thing. At least that's how it's been with me. I guess I've just been fucking up with my own recordings. But then I just, again, like, listen to how I'm talking about this. You know what I mean? I don't want to be sucked into that. Although it's almost like maybe we have to.
No.
Like, where's that balance?
Here's a good reference, right? I'm a huge fan of Joe Rogan. We know this, right? I know you guys listen to him, maybe not as much as I do, right? But you know, I'm picking apart podcasts as I listen to them. The same way what we're talking about right now, right? You know, you want to be better at your craft. You know, what can I do differently? We talked about that outside. You know, how can we keep the fans entertained? And you know, and it's good that we think like that and we want to do that. Ultimately, I think it's just gonna happen naturally. Fans are gonna be fans. Fans are horrible. They're horrible. They fucking love you when they love you, and they'll just fucking step on your soul when you're down. It's just something that happens with fans. It's like, what can you do for me now? You got to accept that. We all have to accept that. So I don't know how extra you can go. You can do a couple of things to keep entertaining them, this and that. But the truth is that they're going to love you for who you are. And you just got to keep putting out content and just do what you do. And we all got to do the same. Because if you don't love who you are and you're going so off the wall, being somebody else, not being somebody else, but going too extra, you know, it might throw your passion off. It might throw the whole dynamic off. I think that you guys do a phenomenal job, and you're going to continue doing that. If you put too much thought into it, I know it's not about, we're not trying to talk about your podcast and success, because you guys are doing phenomenal. But when you give the world too much power, like, how can I entertain them now? I guess from a business perspective, if you're an entrepreneur, you know, if you're Gary Vee, he's going to tell you, you know, oh, that's exactly what you got to do. If you want to be successful, you know, what the world's asking for, you got to adhere to. You got to, you know, you got to comply. You got to do it. And he's got great points. But this isn't full-blown everything you guys do. This is your passion. You love to talk about this. You love to vibe with guests and so on and so forth. Let that continuously, gradually grow the same way it has. And that's where you guys are at. So that it doesn't throw you off like you're trying so extra out of bounds. You know what I mean? Let the passion bring it. I was mentioning Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, you know, he got to where he got to from his passion, from 100% of I don't give a fuck what the world thinks. I'm just doing this. And people gravitated. And of course, a lot of things helped him. UFC, he used to be on
Fear Factor. Yeah.
All that helped him. So let's not make it seem like he just came from the bottom, you know. Right. Comedian, right? You know, funny as fuck too. All that stuff helped him. But fast forward, me as a huge fan, and I'm one of the newest fans, which was like 4 or 5 years ago. I haven't been some diehard fan from forever. But he keeps bringing the same guests back on. Yeah, he twists it up. Yeah, he features different ones here and there, but it's the same Graham Hancock, so on and so forth, the CIA agent, the this, the that.
He Elon a couple of times already. He's got his boys with Shane Gillis and
he's got the comedians.
Norm Macdonald.
Go, you're nailing it. Boom, right? So, and he still kills it because it's still him. It's still the topic at hand. People are still connected to that. You don't got to go extra and do all that. It's just a long building process. When somebody connects with you, they connect with you. Genuinely, they do. And again, I'm honored to be here. This is what your fans do. This is what you guys do. Fuck overthinking that shit. And I think that a lot of times that applies a lot with life and who you're approaching life with. Like, you got to, if you step too far out of your shell, I get you got to entertain something. You got to try to get comfortable with uncomfortability. You got to be willing to try new things and all that. Yes. But if you're a certain way and this is where your passion is, this is where your heart is, what fucking, you go too far off of that in an attempt to reach something else, it's going to backfire because this is where your heart's at. This is what you really love to do. You know what I'm saying? So there has to be a certain line drawn in regards to how far you want to, again, talking about the sexual shit that we were talking about earlier, you know, about an hour ago. So, you know, you got to draw the line. You got to draw a line, you know. You wanted to do freaky, beat somebody up shit like Marv, you know, you go so far until they call the cops. But it's one of those things. So I think you guys are fucking killing it, bro. I think you guys are killing it. I think it's great that people gravitate towards.
No, you touched on some really good topics, and I'm glad you did. And it's for sure, like, because sometimes we overthink, or you feel like this is not working, so I gotta do this. But you have to stay true to who you are, and we do have to build a brand in terms of like ourselves and who we are. And yeah, I guess
We just gotta have fun with it. We gotta find the way to have fun with it.
Well, you guys did that with your game. That's one thing. That's fucking awesome.
the game for sure. Well, maybe we'll ask a question. Well, slowly but surely we'll wrap it up because we're over 2 hours already. But we'll ask you. I know.
No, I do want to get some questions in here, but go ahead.
Yeah, for sure we'll ask some questions. But no, I'm just trying to think. Man, it's always great to have you back on the show, and hopefully the next time you invite us to come on your show, which has been like you haven't invited us in like years.
I can't wait to throw this in you guys' face.
This could be a clip, but knowing you'll probably won't have us on for another a year.
The fuck do you mean by that? Of course not. You're totally wrong, bro. Watch. All right. I'll prove that wrong.
Are you seeing somebody right now, or are you just kind of
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. It's not that I'm opposed to it, but no, I'm not.
just not happening for you?
Yeah.
So 46, no kids. What's new in your life? What's going on? And now we're in the podcast. I think it's a good topic. Like, let's dive in a little bit into your story. Like, what's happening in your life?
Life is great, bro. Life is good. Family's healthy. Everybody's healthy. To me, that's a big deal. I'm very family oriented, and I love my peoples. Everybody's healthy, so life is good. Business is good. It fluctuates. Obviously, mixed martial arts coach, all that stuff. You have your seasons, but business is good. I got no complaints. I love being my own boss. The love life is dry. I don't want to come off like that guy who somebody's gonna assume, he's not entertaining shit. No, I've actually entertained several dates, several attempts, several approaches, and as of recently, probably about like 3 or 4 months ago, I was like, oh, dude, you know what? I'd rather let something happen more naturally. I got off the dating app, stopped with all the aggressive attempts. I just felt like, you know what? I've done this part of, Wes, you got to put some more effort. You got to go on more dates. You got to this, you got to that. I did all that. And that didn't do anything. That just made me waste more money, more attempts, more this. Yeah, it is what it is, I mean, you're swinging for the fences. You're trying to see this. You're trying to see that. And the dates were fun. They really were. And actually some really cool girls. It's just kind of made me feel like, oh, shit, you guys got so many options that you just running with it. That's what I felt after all.
So you felt like just like a number,
For sure. I did. And I felt like a number after 2 or 3 dates that were dope as vibes. Like, they were dope. They were good vibes on many levels. And it was just, you could just tell it trickled after that.
Really? What made you feel like, like this is heading in the wrong direction?
The lack of you know when you know. Come on, dude. You know when you know. Yeah, the effort wasn't there. The text, the everything just changes. It's just one of those things of like, you don't have to talk about the details. 9 times out of 10, you knew when that hint was there. The average person who's ever been cheated on, they knew when they first sensed
something was up. Yeah.
Yeah, they knew. They really did. What's that? What you got over there? What's that car? Come on.
What are you working on?
So I think it's a good time to start wrapping it up. It's getting late. I'm getting kind of sleepy. But before we do so, Wes, as you know, we came out with a card game. So the basics was designed primarily for people in relationships. If you started dating, these are questions that you should definitely ask your partner. If you've been dating for a while, these are questions that you should already know the answers to. There are many questions you can ask the people who just friends and family, and these are the kind of the questions I'm going to be asking you. But ideally, it's for those who are kind of maybe stuck in a rut that they don't know, kind of icebreaker questions, or those who are dating and they haven't asked certain questions. They're like, you know what? we don't really talk that much. You know, after work, hey, how was your day? Oh, what'd you do with at home with the kids? This and that. Like, there's really nothing else. So this is a way to kind of stimulate those conversations in order to really understand kind of how this relationship is going, kind of check-ins, things like that, to make sure everything is running smooth.
Love it. Okay.
You know what? Why not end the episode with some questions from the card game? That way we can kind of, stimulate this conversation even further, but more so to kind of show the kind of responses and kind of the conversations that we have. So, question number 1 from the basics. Do you have any deal breakers? Things that would make you seriously reconsider a relationship?
Damn, that's a great fucking question. That's awesome. Holy shit. That one hit hard right away. Fuck, man. Me personally, I guess somewhere in the kid range, depending on... Okay, deal breaker, you want a kid. There you go. It's better for me not to say if you have a kid. No, because there's a lot of stipulations. If you have a kid, I'm okay with that. Just depends on the age. So let's get that out of there. If you want to have a kid, you want to make a kid, done. No.
That's not in your cards. Why? I think we have talked about it before, but given that we asked the question, why?
That short bus came and went. Beep, beep, gone. Like, that's, like, there's no, would have, could have, should have, might, would. I love kids, all that stuff. It's not that I'm against it. It's just, again, the mathematics, like I mentioned earlier. The mathematics, the whole formula is like, no, at this age, this time, this point of life, all this other bullshit, nah, not worth it.
Dude, didn't Al Pacino have a kid at like 70 or how old is he, dude?
Like 89 or 88 years.
He just had a newborn, dude. That could be you.
In 40 years.
That guy's fucking, he's probably got like 500 million in the bank account. Just wants to make sure somebody will.
$30,000 a month or something.
Hella child support. What an idiot, dude. All right. Question number 2. If you had to change one thing about yourself, what would you pick?
Fuck you for these questions, bro.
These are good ones, right? I got you some.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna answer this one. I guess a little bit more politically correct. I guess if I was to say that, because I feel like I'm a fucking great dude. My cold-heartedness, I have a button, I have a switch that flips on pretty easy. It's kind of something like a lot of people don't know. I can talk about it, I can say it, but it just sounds like other people. But I really do have a switch that is very easily, it goes on and off, and it's like, oh man, they don't even know that I'm just so disconnected right now. So that.
But you feel like that's a bad thing?
No, I don't. That's what makes it bad. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think you should have a switch. I think it's a dope defense mechanism to be able to be like, you know what? I smell shit. The average, the numbers, none of this makes sense that if I was a gambler, I should roll the dice too. If I was a gambler, this does not make sense. If I want to win in life and I'm going against the house, this doesn't make sense. I think that you should be able to flip that switch, and I do it too easily. So I'm going to say that maybe I wish I shouldn't do it that easily. Maybe I should tone it down.
You wish maybe you had a little bit more control over.
Yeah, something like that. Right, exactly.
I can see that. How maybe like you hear something or like someone tells you something.
Be more willing to entertain and be less inclined.
Maybe a little more empathetic in the sense of like maybe listening to where it's coming from and try to maybe. We had that with Adrian also as well. Last and final question for today's episode. We'll wrap it up after this. What's the accomplishment you are most proud of?
Man, my instinctive reaction to that would be, I really love who the fuck I am. I really do, and I'm not trying to compare it to other people, but I think that a lot of people lack that. They might say it, claim it, they might want to search for it. Oh, I need to find me, I need to do me, and you, but they really don't ever. And maybe I'm blessed, maybe I'm lucky, maybe I'm there because of all the hardships I've been through, but man, I really love the fuck out of me. And I really do strongly feel that I'm a great individual. My heart's in the right place. I don't do anybody dirty. I just really feel like without religion, without all these things that typically make people better people, kids, this, that, whatever, I feel like I'm a great individual in this world and towards people and towards my, the way I approach life and positivity. And I'm proud of that because I think it's very hard to feel like that think that and do it confidently in this type of world. So yeah, I'm very proud of that.
I think in today's society, to love yourself is a big accomplishment. I feel like a lot of us are so disconnected with reality and with our own emotions and our own sense of self that you being comfortable and secure and love yourself. I think I think more people should find ways to really like get closer to that. If only there was again some way that people can kind of get closer to that, because there is so much appreciation when you can look back at everything that you've gone through and to then just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, fuck, dude, I'm proud of you, man. I'm so happy with who I am. And I know that there's still so much more left. But to be up to this point and look at yourself and be like, fuck, dude, I love me. I love you. It's a big thing, dude. That's probably one of the best answers you would have given.
Appreciate it.
That being said, I think after 2.5 hours.
2.5 and change. Mr. West. Oh, I do want to go to sleep too. I'm sure you do. You still got to drive too.
Yeah, tell everybody that, hey, by the way, since you guys are catching this all live, look at these 30-year-olds, 30, 31, and they're the fucking ones falling asleep, this and that. Ladies, you want that old motherfucker with that real energy, goddamn.
That's your guy.
Sell yourself.
I love you guys. I appreciate you having me back on. Remember, tell your fans, you guys were wrong. I'm going to have you on for a 4th time. I can't wait. Okay.
I'll go through it.
So you guys tune in. I love you guys. Appreciate it. Love what you guys are doing. I wish you guys the best. And you guys have awesome fans. Thank you, bro.
Give us a quick final thoughts to wrap it up. Something that you live passionately by, something you want to share with the world, whatever you live.
I'll just piggyback that last question is, make sure you authentically love yourself. You have to be super comfortable with yourself. The decisions you make in life. I understand that I bring a lot of fucking backlash with some of the ways that I think and some of the ways that I believe in the things that I say, and that's cool, but I accept that because I love myself and I really believe in what it is, and I'm comfortable with it. Find that comfort in yourself, and your life will be a lot better. Doesn't matter what direction you go. Find that comfort in yourself, and your life is going to flourish.
Wonderful. I like that. I was wondering what you were doing.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, damn, he's so rude.
I got a little video of that.
And with that being said,
thank you so much, guys. Wes, you the man. Thank you, brother.
Love you guys, man.